while we're live. We don't do a lot of foul language.
Anyway.
I'm not a big foul language person, so yeah.
Rob's
I
not
love-
here,
I
so
love how that was directed.
don't blame coronavirus on the Chinese. Rob did that already.
He did. He did.
Blame coronavirus on the Chinese.
Right. Well, okay. Stand, talk to people. Or you could spin it here and they could watch me while I set this up on my computer.
Amber can tell a story.
I'm not playing stories.
Well, but it's going, so tell a story. Hey YouTube, how's it going everybody? Alan's getting everything set up and we're gonna go live. Well, we are live. Alan's gonna start sculpting. Hey Chad, how's it going? Ezekiel, good evening. Hey Logan, how are you? Thanks for everybody dropping in. And I'm still Stan and we're still here. And hey Michelle, how are you? You're still here.
You are muted.
I'm muted. Hey Michael. Tommy, how's it going? Hi, Lisa.
Wow, there's a lot of people on, like really fast.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say hi to all of them?
I'm saying hi. Hi, Anthony. How's it going?
The weird kid wants you to do a trick.
The weird. I don't have anything to juggle.
A trick.
Yeah. He specifically requested Stan do a trick.
I have nothing to juggle. I can juggle. That's it. And I have kind of creepy toes, if that counts.
You have creepy toes?
I do. They're gross. I don't let
Okay.
anyone ever see my toes.
Well, HMT is a thing. Hideous man toes. HMT. All
I'm-
guys
that's-
have HMT.
I have HMT.
Yeah.
It's they should do a book.
Okay.
This is what we do while we wait for Alan. There you go. There's your trick. 8 o'clock on the East Coast. There you go, weird kid.
Yeah, it's like 7:15 here right now.
How's it going, Rob?
Okay, so I have to like don't get the table in frame because I have to create this evening's list. All right, so there's someone creeping around in the background who you don't know. That's Amber. Could you point over there at Amber? Amber works with Stan and I at Dark Hour, and she was over today making some EVA foam hats.
That's a big, tall stack of hats right there.
Yeah. And she's going to hang out for the live feed. And she will be our guest sculptor this evening.
Hey, Tut.
So,
Ezekiel says, hey, Amber.
just like we did with Rue, I'll be sculpting one and Amber will be sculpting one.
Excellent.
Boom.
If you all expected organization and me to have all this ready,
You're too new.
yeah. Welcome to the channel. It's not like that here. Okay.
Kiss says hi, Amber. Thor says hi. Third Degree says hi. Tommy says hi. Kiss, we don't know what we're sculpting yet. We're working on it.
You don't.
Lisa asks if it's Farmer's Night.
Well, again, like always, we're going to do the vote, and then we'll find out. There's a high chance of farmers this evening.
Rob says it's Sculptorama.
Which Rob?
O'Brien.
Okay, hello, Rob.
Lisa says would love to see Karen and Ichabod.
They've already named the farmer's wife Karen. Which is really funny.
Which is, it's good.
Oh, I did that one. Oh.
Kieran and Ichabod.
You ever heard of a gibbering mouther?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I'm not going to make her possibly sculpt it unless she's heard of it.
Hey, Twitches. Good evening.
All right, so there are only 2 lists. There's 2 lists, and there's only 4 things on each list. So, do I have everything? This is accounted for, that's accounted for, that's accounted for, that's accounted for, that's accounted for.
Ross says he taught a noob the secrets of a caulk gun. He felt so proud.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah, what's funny is, like, people who have been, like, contractors, I guess they knew all the caulking gun had all those parts at one point in time, but you forget, because they don't use them. So, I've been on job sites where it's, 20, 30-year construction people. They're like, oh yeah, forgot it did that. I'm like, you don't need a knife, it's got a little thing right here.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah. Okay, I have duplicated a Wolfman, and I shouldn't duplicate a Wolfman. Now, granted, I like me some Wolfman. Hold on a second.
You know what it's called, number 46. It's,
Yeah.
You like you some
Yeah.
Wolfman.
Wolfman number 46, exactly.
Hi, Rachel. Gregory says preparation and prior planning are not favored at Still B Studios.
No, it isn't. It isn't at all.
Hi, Vic. Cobwebs and Candlesticks says, hello, Haunt fam. Sorry I'm late. Was watching AVA videos.
You don't have to apologize for being late. Like, not in the least. The amount of these masks that I've already sculpted is dizzying.
Hey, Cobwebs. You did hear Stan.
Yes, Stan is reading comments this evening. Shannon might come over, I don't know. She might have a Shannon evening. We'll see.
Rachel, hit the like button on the way in the door.
All right. How do you know you like it though? We just started. I could do weird things this evening. All right, so now I have 4, and they are. I think you might not know who that is, but I think you have it in you.
Ooh.
All right, so here are the. You'll be fine.
All right,
Here
yeah.
are the options. All right, I have a list. On my list is Karen, farmer's wife, a hammerhead shark monster, a farmer man who looks a bit like Ichabod Crane but angrier, and a wolf man because I can. And then on Amber's list, who is guest sculpting this evening, the boar is back, the piranha monster man is back, and Web Soar from the Masters of the Universe is on here, and a gibbering mouther. All these things are things that we are not calling him Old McFondled, okay? I have to put my foot down about that. It doesn't matter that Ezekiel wrote a song. It doesn't matter. No, it's not Ichabod McFondled. You know why? Because I laugh too much. No. Yes. Yeah. But we haven't yet to be named. I like Karen. We'll keep Karen. But anyway, those are the options. So, hello, Al. I can't see a lot of people on it. You know what? I'm going to make you guys a little smaller because the way this screen works, I just don't need it this big. Okay. Yeah, don't encourage them. So, I need to write down who's giving me numbers. Fondian, hi. You're going to give me a number. You're going to, you know what? Hold on. You guys haven't even seen these. I don't know why I'm shuffling them. All right, so once again, you guys are kind of guessing on order, but Amber has a list, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're only going to pick 2. We're going to have 2 folks, Fondian and Glenn McCain. I want each of you guys to say a number. Fondian, Glenn McCain. Each of you say a number, and then we'll vote between those two to see which one Amber sculpts.
Glenn says 4.
Thank you, Glenn. And Fondlin. See, that's why we can't do. That's why we can't do Old McFondle. Have a farm. Eat eyes, toes.
Nice.
There's a song. It's
Who
ungood.
wrote the song?
It just went. It happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, 3. Okay. You. Wait. 3. You're here. 4, 3. Okay. So right now, so there's going to be 2 separate things that you're voting for. So you kind of have to vote in pairs because 2 people are sculpting. For Amber, it is a choice between Web Store of the Masters of the Universe and a Gibbering Mouther. So it's going to be an interesting sculpture. I think Web Store is the easier of the 2. Or a Gibbering Mouther. All right. Me. I need Enigma. I'm going to have you pick a number between 1 and 4. And then Anthony Cooper, please pick a number between 1 and 4. So say the number between 1 and 4, Enigma.
Type it in. Bobo said, all right, it's all over
I
the
didn't
place.
ask Bobo to pick.
It's all over the place already. 4.
Okay, so I need both of you gave me the same number, so I need a different number for you guys. I need one of you to change your number.
It got out of hand so quick.
Hi, Cobwebs. 2. Okay, we have a 2 and 4. All right. So tonight, I am either sculpting a hammerhead or a wolfman. I'm sculpting either the hammerhead monster or a wolfman. Oh, I love me a wolfman. I think I'm going to like a hammerhead monster. Amber is sculpting Web Store from the Masters of the Universe, who's a spider guy. That's kind of cool. And a Gibbering Mouther. Not Wolfman McFondle. Ezekiel, you take that back. And Ezekiel, you're going to go ahead and you're going to calculate and you're going to pick for Amber, who is in between Web Store and Gibbering Mouther. Ezekiel, you're up. Kissfan, you are up for me. Kissfan, you are going to pick between Hammerhead and Wolfman. Everybody put in your votes right now. Put in your votes. Web Store or Gibbering Mouther, Hammerhead or Wolfman. It is 7:29. At 7:36, I need answers from Ezekiel and from Kissfan. All right. Well, you got to listen to the other people. You have to take their considerations in. You don't have to, I guess, but
It's a benevolent dictatorship.
but you guys are attacking them with your vote, so that they kind of have to listen to you. We have 6 minutes. References. Well, I have some references, but again, there's 2 sculptors tonight, so yes, I have references for what I'm going to do. I'm going to be honest. If I go Wolfman, I'm probably going to freeform that because I have ideas in my head from the last 7 werewolf masks that I've made that I want to implement changes into this design. Yes.
A lot of gibbering.
There's a lot of gibbering.
I think you're gibbering this evening. That's how it looks.
A lot of gibbering.
No love for Web Store.
I don't know. There actually in the beginning there were a lot of
Web stores in the beginning. And Ezekiel is pretty fair. I think Kissman is going to say, whatever you guys want. Here's what I want Alan to make. But hey, you know what? I could be wrong. We'll see. We will see. Break out the monster, man. There are some good pictures of gibbering Mouthers. And if you want like a lot of reference, I have a Pinterest board already for Gibbering Malver that you could pull up on your phone and have references. Oh. Every day I'm gibbering. Yes. Oh, I should probably get a sculpting form over here somewhere. Stan, would you whip out that box of clay over there?
Absolutely.
Hello, Robert White. You have to vote, okay? Well, since you're here, all right? You'll notice all these random words going up, okay? I am going to sculpt either a hammerhead or a wolfman this evening. Hammerhead shark monster or a wolfman, one of those two. Amber, who is our guest sculptor, she is going to sculpt either Web Store from the Masters of the Universe, he's the spider guy, or a Gibbering Malver, which is a monster from D&D. So there you go. Amber is new to here, but she's been here to help before. Amber is my casting director at Dark Hour. And, well, you don't get to make monsters at your house, and she's been there a long time. So now she's kind of making monsters. Yeah. Oh, we have some pleases happening. Kiss fan, are you listening to everyone? Ezekiel, are you processing all of the information? Does my casting director sculpt? Question. Yes, she actually recently started, and she sculpted a demon, and it was pretty rock on. I don't know how long you took to sculpt the demon in total, because this is like a lesson in speed sculpting.
Right? Probably, let's see, altogether it was 2 days.
2 days.
2 days.
So you think like
Right.
8 hours of sculpting? 16 hours?
48 hours.
48. Okay.
48
Got it.
hours.
All right. So we'll be a little faster. And I will probably finish for you
Okay.
unless you can come back or whatever. We'll figure that out.
Okay.
We'll figure that out later. Right now, let's have the fun of just making stuff.
Yes.
Amber, Ezekiel is entreating you. He says Dark Hour needs a shreddy guitarist from Australia. He says he's your man. You know what? We're going to do full head busts. We're doing full heads. So there's one down here, and I don't know who gets what yet. Oh, there's two. There's two. Both of these are okay to be on mine. Grab that half mask form back there. Give her a stand. I'm looking at what she's got on her list, and either one of those could be a half mask. Hello, everybody who is just hopping on. So we are in the voting phase for this evening. I kind of got right to it because I want to have... Merman only took like minimal polishing. He didn't take a lot. I got him pretty much knocked out in a night. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that same thing.
Is your pencil?
Yeah, I'll take this one. We have 1 minute. And Amber, does anyone... Ezekiel has had a question. He said, do you have a preference on which one you're sculpting?
Oh, no, I thought we were voting.
Well, they're voting, but he asked if you had a preference.
Do I have a preference?
He's making a decision. I believe in listening to the people, but I also believe in tyranny. So I have one person make a decision with input from others. Yeah, with input from the others. Kind of like a democratic republic,
Right.
Let's call it. Okay, Horror Beauty. So my two sculptures that I might be doing, it's me and Amber. Say hi, Amber.
Hey, everybody.
Amber's my casting director at Dark Hour, but she also sculpts recently. And I am either doing a hammerhead shark or a wolfman. Those are my two options. And Amber is sculpting either Web Store, a spider guy from Masters of the Universe, or a Gibbering Malver. one of those two. So it's Web Store or Gibbering Mouther, and Hammerhead or Wolfman.
Boom.
Yeah, that's it. I'm excited.
Hi, Julie.
Amber looks like a web store kind of lady.
She is a Web Store kind of lady. I would say she has some Evil Lynn qualities.
Gregory says, hey, Alan, is Undertow now known as Mercedes?
Yes, because the Undertow name was taken, so we went with the runner-up, which was Mercedes. It was taken by a mask.
Jesse says, wait a minute, all caps. When did I miss the Beastman paint job?
Wait a minute. Oh, did you see it?
I think when you brought the camera around.
Did you see it sitting there in the background? I did a test paint today. I did a test paint on beast mode. So let me put it on and I'll walk in
Degree
front.
says go full Lovecraft. The Gibbering Mouther. Or says you got to do the Gibbering Mouther and Web Store. Love the He-Man stuff, but know it's going to get done no matter what.
Well, maybe not. I mean, Web Store is kind of down the list, but everything is going to get done that I have to get done. Look, I'm Beast Man. Ah. If nobody calls me a flea-bitten buffoon, I'll be upset. This was a test paint. This one was bubbly and pockmarked out of the mold, so I did some test painting on it. There's some things I don't like, but mostly this is a true to action figure paint job. So there you go.
Getting lots of love. Hell yes. Gibbering Mouther. Is it Gibbering?
Gibbering.
Gregory says so cool.
Well,
Looks
that's the guy
decent.
who invented gifts, and then you might say it's a gibbering now. We don't like that.
Kiss Fan says it looks good for the first go. Julie B says, nice madly, Alan. Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah. Daniel said it took him back to the 80s with the paint job.
Yeah, I mean, it's straight off of the toy.
You showing the reference?
No one needs a reference with Beast Man. They all know what Beast Man looks like.
Dun, 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 dun.
But the action figure has blue around the eyes. That's the Beastman action figure. Right there. Okay.
Rob O'Brien says he has to admit that's pretty cool.
Oh, it's fun. It's fun.
By the power of still beast.
Robert says, I don't remember that, but I'm old.
Well, that's
And
okay.
you should remember it.
That's okay. There was a lot of lead in those toys too, so that affects. Oh yeah, so time is up. Kiss Fan, we need a final, and Ezekiel, we need a final, sir. Amber, you're on Web Store. Hooray! Kiss Fan. Ooh, and I'm on Hammerhead. Wow, what a crazy sculpture that's going to be. All right.
One.
So now you have to look up some references on your phone there.
Okay.
So because you can use that. And I'm going to pull up some references that I already have. It is Warren Maxwell. Hey, buddy. Yep, that's what I feared. No.
Julie says hood for you, Amber. Maybe the H is right next to the G.
Okay, so there's all these other pictures that ended up in with the hammerhead references.
Gregory says we're going to, third degree says having guest sculptors is great.
Awesome.
Alan says Wolfman for Alan. Alan, you're late. Other Alan.
Yes, it has been decided. I am on Hammerhead. I am on a Hammerhead monster.
Gregory says break out the blocks of wed.
We have blocks of wed.
Hey, big dog, good evening. Alan Hirsch says hello, Amber.
Hi.
Amber is my casting director at Dark Hour. And at some point in time tonight, she'll probably tell a story.
It is very possible. That's not cute.
Ooh.
That was bad.
Well, I thought it would just do it in this one. Okay. Harder.
Just with the fun guys.
All right.
I agree.
Amber, you want to do a full head or you want to do a half mask? Okay. Stan, would you hook her up with a full head?
Perfect.
Yep, that works. Go ahead and just go to that table and take that mask off of there. And you have to answer questions, Amber.
Okay.
That's how this goes. So, what are the top 3 things looking for when casting your actors?
Top 3 things that I'm looking for. I am looking for availability, I'm looking for trainability, and I'm looking for enthusiasm. And there's some scary
Availability, trainability, enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't even say talent.
No.
Like that wasn't, no, we can teach that, you know. Yes, Boris is here and Bella is here. Yes, good eye, Hugo.
I feel like this is a race. Should I start now?
Start. Yeah, get on it. You're late.
Your headphones glued to the sock.
Yeah. 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 Okay, you start from the chin. You normally do it this way. Your face away from you. That's the nose and clear. It's all tape. Yeah.
So that's pretty fun.
Nice.
Okay. Now you're swapping out. Boom, boom. Alan, you said on a live stream somewhere you gave you pro haircutting scissors. Might I ask who so I can ask what are some good ones? If Stephen Haynes are on, ask Stephen Haynes. Steve Haynes. He is the one. He actually gave me teasing combs, but he is a hair dude for sure. And he's also on the group already. Hockey, I'm actually making some of those, and I may do a tutorial on it. What I am seeing most people do wrong, I hate to say that, is that they're not allowing for airflow. You have to give those N95 masks lots of airflow. So, yeah. Well, this is me right here. This is my face bust. So it looks like the engineer from Prometheus. That's the color talking. I don't know if he's here tonight, Horror Beauty, but I know he's on the group online.
Enigma wants to know if Crystal Clear will work for a two-piece instead of acid.
No, it will not. But motor oil will, sometimes enough hand lotion will.
Dude,
Rachel has concerns for your wardrobe.
She does?
Yeah,
she thinks your shirt is very cute, but she ain't to see it ruined by clay.
Ah, it'll be.
yeah. That's kind of what I told. I said, Amber, you're dressed way too nice when she showed up, because, yeah. Shane, no one paying attention to you? Is that all you want in the world, some attention?
Hey, Stacy.
Hello, Stacy.
Question for Amber. Before dark hour, what other haunts have you worked?
Yeah.
My home haunt. That's it. I was kind of new to the haunting arena. Not entertainment, but just.
I love to recruit home haunters because they already kind of have the skills that we need, and they have a desire and love for the work, and then you have to give them some time off right around October. Right around Halloween. I can live with that, or not, or you just trick them into falling in love with it, and they stay.
That's exactly.
Stacy says hi, Amber.
Hi, Stacy.
Rachel Powell says she was dealing with the kids, so I missed what's being sculpted.
I am sculpting a hammerhead shark monster, and Amber is sculpting Web Store, who is a spider dude from the Masters of the Universe toy line series.
Third Degree says give that girl a green Still Beach t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get sculpts in frame. See, her sculpture was in frame when she had a half mask. So, and she's not sitting down, so she's making it hard.
Set it in for the little buck.
Technology. It went the wrong way.
There we go.
First.
Well, what?
Second
Oh, my way.
first.
Yeah, or else it'll shoot up in the air again.
So much better.
Isn't that
It's like a
awesome?
ride.
So start doing it, Super Handyman. Start doing it. Stan, comments also.
No, I'm gonna dive in here.
Okay.
Really, dude?
A while there, you were getting Amber set up, and didn't want to miss a lot. Everybody loves the chairs. That is true. So I'm doing a trick where I put my finger on the eye, and then I pack clay around it so I don't lose the eyeball and where the center is.
Big Dog
Because-
wants to know if we get to name the hammerhead.
We'll see how far I get. If I think I'm like 3/4 of the way through it, then we can. But if I'm, if I the second night, then we'll name him on the second night.
Alan says, pleasure to meet you, Amber. Big Dog likes my shirt. Thank you. Scott says, Stan, what is your haunt project?
Yes, Stan.
It's the haunt season. October. Fingers crossed.
You guys know Stan. Stan assists Amber at Dark Hour quite a bit. He is a casting assistant. Is there an official name? Or is it just like Helper Stan?
It's not helper Stan. It wasn't really cast an assistant. What do we say?
I'm intern Stan here. I can be helper Stan at Dark Hour. We had a really cool title.
We did.
Logistic or operational support.
That's it.
something. Sounded like someone who makes a lot of money.
Operational.
That's good for a
Sounds
job
like-
title. I have not gotten a link or a message yet from Hallie, who does eyes, but I'm not going to chase her down. But hopefully she'll pop back on. And I think that Scott actually did that night put up her info that she gave.
So Super Handyman said he carves rock hard soap. Will his skill set help in it, or is it different?
It's like carving, except you can also add stuff back on if you screw up, which I think is very important.
Cobweb says his vote is for hammered.
We're not even voting on the name yet. We're not there yet, guys.
Enigma asks, is there a lot of competition in Texas with other FX companies?
Effects companies?
That's what he asked.
I don't know. I mean, I operate outside of competition because of how I do things. I go to trade shows, and mostly I sell at trade shows. So that is where I do most of my selling, which is why I'm having an interesting year this year. And I don't do movies. I don't enjoy movie work, so I don't compete with effects companies for movies. And the other haunted house effects companies here in Texas locally, they're my friends. You know, Brainchow was Shell and Bart's company, and then When Hinges Creek is Jen and Alex's company. So yeah, they're my friends. So it's not really competition, and we kind of find our niche. Dark Creations is Adam's company, and he's in South Texas, but we kind of do slightly different things, so we all have our niche. I'm fairly jack of all tradesy, I guess, but I don't step on people's toes.
Scott says, Stan and Amber, do either of you play a character at Dark Hour?
Absolutely. Gotta hunt.
Fun.
Gotta hunt.
What kind of characters do you play?
My favorite character is a Tooth Fairy. And then I have a character, her name is Dahlia. She gets to run around a good bit. But other than that, I'll play zombies and vampire brides, whatever we need.
Hello, Ken Powell.
Cobweb says, is that hammerhead going to have an armature?
Going to have this head under it. I kind of, all right, so if I made this big enough and out far enough to where I would need a support armature under it, then the actor's not going to have fun playing it. So I have to make this in such a way to where it's not going to fall apart. I'll make it work. That's the short answer to your question. No, it won't have a armature aside from the plaster sculpting form that I have it on.
So Stacy says Amber is Vera Blight.
Yes. Yeah.
She is.
I was going to talk about Contagion.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Vera Blight was our Contagion witch that we had for years, since year one actually. And but Contagion is not a good thing to talk about right now.
Vera had to go.
She's also the Riot Witch, so you know, there's no Riot Witch.
Big Dog says, Dark Hour is so cool, you got to go on the tour and wants to go when we get back home.
Yes.
Kim Powell says, working on a couple of projects with David down at Afterlife.
Cool. Awesome.
Super Andy Man says, what type of material are you using?
This is wet clay, water-based clay. Careful going thin on the neck. Just make sure it's got a good thickness. Easier for people. Is it fair to say, Amber, that you're a new sculptor?
I am a very
Okay.
It's like monster.
Yeah. Yeah, Amber was all set to come to one of the monster camps, and you'll still get to one, but because of all the cancellations and shelter-in-place policies and things, we had to push monster camps back. So we'll get there.
My first.
But and she sculpted one on her own, which turned out lovely.
Tom Webb says, will Stan ever sculpt one?
I don't know.
Maybe if everybody at Stiltbeast quits and I'm the last resort.
Yeah. Yeah. Alan lost his hands in a combine accident, so Stan's going to sculpt your mask now. Enjoy.
No refunds. Robert White says, it's funny that I'm seeing a lot of YouTube videos lately from Distortions.
Well, you know what? I think that with Transworld being canceled, they have a little more time on their hands, and I'm all for that. I love to learn from Ed Edmonds. He's one of my favorite people. Every now and then, he'll pop on one of the live streams.
Third Degree says, Stan, have you tried sculpting? I've tried several times, and it just really wasn't my thing. I like making armor and building props, and so, yeah.
He's more of a fabricator than a sculptor.
Ezekiel says, question, I received a mask from a friend that was basically folded up. Is there any way to get some shape back into it?
Yep, get yourself a big pan of almost boiling water. Almost boiling water, and dip your mask into that. And it should shock the mask back into the shape it was molded in.
Scott says we got 85 creepers.
Holy moly, how many thumbs up do we have? 7.
I didn't see that. Thank you, Big Dog. Edson, I have not made animatronic props. I built a couple of suits for cosplay and swords, life-size movie props, that sort of thing. I haven't made anything yet that has remote controls or moves.
And Stan kind of got here to Stiltbeast, and I wedged him into a laser man. So he handles a lot of the laser stuff, so I don't have to. Okay, I finally am covered in clay. I feel like that took full rev up.
1980 says you get a thumbs up when we see Merman.
Merman, the mold is done. I did not get to pour him up yet. But there is a Merman mold.
Ken Powell says, I usually trend towards Alan and Distortions for tips. They keep me from making some bad mistakes.
I have made all of the bad mistakes ahead of time.
All of them.
So hopefully you don't have to.
60 thumbs. Everyone is giving you thumbs up.
Correct.
Awesome.
Brandon D says, do you have any quasi-fascination with certain numbers or shapes?
Wow. Yes.
Sports.
Kind of. Was there humping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mostly it's dominance humping. They don't have any junk. We had it removed. Yeah. There's kind of like a rune symbol that I made up a while ago, and I like that. Numbers, not really. If I was told that there were no more numbers, I'd be okay with that. I'm not a number guy, I'm a monster guy.
Edson says, I've done a lot of wiper motor props that have come out sweet.
Wiper motors are actually great.
Yeah.
The only thing I like better than a wiper motors are reindeer motors, because nothing stops them.
Lisa asks, Stan and Amber, what's your favorite haunt theme?
Yeah.
I loved our vampire show. I thought it was awesome.
So the only October show that you
Ever
have been
been in.
to,
So
you're saying is the best one.
Out of the 3 that I've been in, I like the vampire show the best.
No, and they don't just mean haunt themes at dark hour. They mean like of any what's a theme for a haunted house that you enjoy? Would you rather go to an asylum themed haunted house or a medieval castle haunted house?
Out of those 2?
Yeah.
Tough. Probably the medieval castle because I've worked in the asylum.
Okay.
I want to see something different. What about you, bro?
Oh, it's I think my favorite hunt I'd ever been through was it was an underwater, it's a sucking ship, like
Yeah?
like a Titanic, and,
Cool.
and it was ghosts of all of the passengers on board, and it was lots and lots and lots of water, and you had people in water tanks and
Where was that?
Universal.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Howling movies.
Big dogs. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
But I like nightmares. I like unusual or like tropes.
How do I get
No,
back on
TV
and scroll
shows.
down so they're going really fast?
Use your finger on the trackpad. Or you can plug in your mouse. Okay, so you're on the bottom screen. Move it over, and then you'll see it show up on the top screen. You're gonna move it off the edge on one side.
God, I'm smarter than this.
Look at the computer screen and track your mouse. Push it to the edge, and when it disappears, it shows up on that. But see, the big monitor is above the little one, so you go sideways to get it to pop up over. It's hard. It's
Not
tough to do all
mine.
that braining.
There's braining.
I don't like braining.
Really? Whoops.
I think I'm going to recycle Merman's teeth for this guy.
There we go. Big Dog says latest stuff for YouTube Wednesday. I might answer that it's kind of boring.
Well, in all honesty, though, I would then be assuming that you had a big laser cutter, which I try to do stuff with things that are more accessible, you know. Yeah.
So Edson says reindeer motors aren't that strong, but they're great for lightweight stuff.
That's true.
Cobweb says, I love to rip apart reindeer for motors, plus you get to take a shot at Christmas.
Yeah. Forget Christmas.
Amber, how many tots do you typically get at your home hunt?
We actually were about 700. The last time I was at my home, for the past 5 years I've been there.
What you're saying is, I have ruined Halloween for about 700.
No, I actually will still hunt. My kids,
They handle it?
They handle it. So that is, we had 700 was the last year.
Cobweb says Fright Props has really good motors. Stacy's giving me a vote of confidence. Thank you, Stacy. Scott says, Edson says, if you want new Fright Props, does sell everything you'll need.
Yeah, Fright Props is amazing. They're like the haunted house Walmart. They're the best.
Rob O'Brien says, what year was that at HHN?
I was
Early
at
2000s.
Halloween Horror Nights in 96, 97, and 99. I worked Horror Nights those years.
97, 98, 99, 2000,
Yeah.
2001, 2, 3, 4. I think 5 was
And
the
I
last
was
year.
almost always in the Jaws area as the Wolfman.
Scott says, come on, Stan, you gotta top Rob.
Well-
I'll let Alan answer that.
Yeah, we'll see. I gotta see Rob. I'll see Rob tomorrow. Actually, he's going to help me down at the Monster Museum on some stuff.
Brandon says, which is spookier and which has more charm? Crypts, mausoleums, and ground plots.
Well, ground plots are really hard to work with for haunts because unless you're doing negative work where you have pits for actors to get into, and you just don't. There's not a lot of opportunity there. The crypts and crypts are better, I think. I think they have more charm. I think they give you more opportunity for scares because they're little buildings that you can hide actors in. And actors are important to a haunted house, or even have animatronics come out of. And mausoleum is great, but everything is a drawer at that point.
So Edson says, okay, I'm going to go watch Alan's favorite TV show. I'll watch the rest tomorrow.
Hooray!
Cobweb said, did you say 700, Amber?
Yeah.
Yes, 700, big dog. Ezekiel says, I just built a Jake Farmer ankle blaster pneumatic.
Sweet.
Super cool, fun to make.
Who said that?
Ezekiel.
Awesome.
1980 says, motor with step gears for heavier props. Cobweb says, wow, 700. What the hell did you give out, money?
Full-size chocolate bar.
Full-size chocolate.
And for those that could not have chocolate, we did have like fries.
And we're in a huge market too, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the Dallas-Fort Worth area is big.
There's some crazy neighborhoods that get wild at hell.
It's also, we're packed full of people, and we're packed full of people. It takes 2 hours to drive across the Metroplex. And if a whole neighborhood gets in on it, you know, then that's a fun Halloween thing.
Our whole street.
Yeah.
Decorate. Yeah.
Chad says he graduated high school in 97.
I graduated high school in 1995.
1994.
91.
Big Dog says my old house in Ohio, we would get 300-ish, maybe 400.
Great.
Rob O'Brien says, Amber, I may have been on the costuming team for that house.
No kidding. It was Popeyes. It was the Popeyes River Raft.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember when they did that.
Yeah. It was amazing.
The 1 year it was over at IOA.
It was only there 1 year.
I think it was only 1 year. It went right back to Universal.
So Cobweb says, hey Alan, if you got a fiberglass chopper gun, would you make mold cases with it instead of UltraCal?
No. I would make things with it, but I would not use it for plaster molds because plaster is where it's at. It has different properties. If you think about a fiberglass mold, how is that different from a plastic bucket? The latex doesn't wick into the plastic. So, Stan, do you see another bag of clay over there? The box of clay.
Boys. Bella. No, there's that trash bag.
Great. Who's Bella?
Brandon was born in, let's see, hold on, we gotta go back some. Got a lot of class, high school dates. 1981, from Teltworks, Ezekiel, graduated in 87. Cobwebs is class of 91.
Yeah.
Scott was class of 84. Ken was class of 1980. Scott Colthart was class of 82. Horror Beauty was class of 97. Big Dog was 85. Everyone's talking. 93. We have a 2005.
You're a wee baby. You're a wee baby. Yeah.
Brian Gibson wants to know how many total people through the haunt.
We do just about 30,000 in at dark hour. That's my goal for the year is 30,000.
Thomas R is asking, hey all, what's going on?
Well, we're making monsters.
Stacy says a lot of 80s graduates in here. I was born in 1984, class of 2002.
All right, you. Watch your language around here, young lady.
In 1984, I had a sleeveless Michael Jackson shirt that said "Beat It" on it.
I'm sorry.
I was 7 years old. I thought it was awesome. It was a Christmas present. Stacy's a youngin'. Patricia, born 1949.
Born?
Born. Lots of haunters. Lisa says lots of haunters who grew up with 70s Halloween. Chad said it was awesome. Stan, that's right. I'm awesome. Thank you. Stacy said it's not the years, it's the mileage. Cowboy said I had a poison back patch on my jean jacket in high school.
Yeah.
All right, because Alan's gone, I'll share my story. I want to tell a story.
Oh.
My very first rock and roll concert was in 1989. I was 13 years old. I got driven to Austin, Texas from Midland, which is like a 10-hour drive. And I spent 2 weeks, it was the Bon Jovi New Jersey tour. Skid Row opened up for them. And I spent 2 weeks shredding up my jeans to look like the Def Leppard video. And I had the mullet back when I had hair.
Oh yeah,
That was my first concert.
that's great.
I still had the ticket. It's getting faded, but I still had the ticket.
That's awesome.
Ken had a Disco Sucks t-shirt. Big Dog Like the Grateful Dead. I saw Poison in concert at the Irvine Convention Center in 1990. I saw Warrant in 1992. Can you believe I went to a Warrant concert? I had a Def Leppard t-shirt in 87, didn't even know who they were. I just liked the shirt. Ezekiel says back when music was cool. That's right. Yeah, you can drive 10 hours and still be in Texas.
10.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You drive 16.
No, I'm saying Candle said 10 hours and you still live in Texas. I said, yeah, that's not a lot.
Depending on where you leave, you could make it 20, 24.
Yeah. Brandon's first concert was in 93, saw it live. Michael Lassiter's first concert was the same first concert tour I ever saw.
Cool.
Bon Jovi and Skid Row. Judas Priest and Uriah Heep in 2019. Okay, Brandon, they might have been past that prime. Def Leppard 87. Ezekiel says his son's first concert was Rob Zombie in Las Vegas on a Halloween night and with a meet and greet when he was 9.
Well,
That's good.
that's good
That's
parenting.
good. Parenting.
Chad says, I haven't been to many concerts, but definitely saw the best band ever, Aerosmith, exclamation mark. DJ Style says, hey Alan, how did you like my Night Creeper 2020 Meyer sculpt? And do you have any pointers for me on smoothing and texturing to give it a skin texture?
Well, I would not give it a skin texture because it's a mask. I mean, the Myers mask is a Myers mask. So I would not give it the texture of human skin. The mask that the original Myers was pulled from did not have any real skin texture on it, being a William Shatner Star Trek mask. Skin texture kind of reads weird a little bit sometimes on human likeness masks. So, but it's good. Myers is a hard sculpt, so you did really well considering your subject matter. What was I saying? He asked like 20 questions. Oh, pointers on smoothing. Rakes, man. Now is when you go in there with rakes and you just start raking everything out. And you're going to look at it and you're going to say, yeah, but if I rake it, I put all these little lines in there. Yes, that's the point. Because that's how you get smooth. You rake those lines in, it takes away your highs, it deposits in your lows, and you have to support that feature.
Jan says, what will the new sculpts gonna be like?
Well, I'm hoping that my sculpt is going to be like a hammerhead shark, and I'm hoping that her sculpt is going to be like Webstore from the Masters of the Universe.
Stacy's parents were hippies. Her first concert was Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Right on.
Third Degree saw Rush in 87. Cobwebs saw Aerosmith for the 9 Lives tour. Brandon was supposed to see Rammstein and Judas Priest with Sabaton this summer, but they canceled, and Judas Priest probably will too. Cobweb said Creed opened.
I liked Creed. I liked them. I thought they were good.
1980 says, I'm originally from the Rio Grande Valley. It's at least 10 to 12 hour drive from there out of Texas.
Yeah, that's a mess. Don't do that.
Scott's first was 1978 at a Molly Hatchet concert.
Molly Hatchet. I used to work for their old tour manager. Like every tour they did, their manager was my boss at Janie Lane's Sunset Strip, Ray Steins, who then went on to work at Universal after the club closed. And he became like one of the big five at Universal.
Or Beauty saw Depeche Mode. That was her first concert. Ezekiel's was ABBA in 77.
Great. ABBA.
Dancing
Nice.
Queen.
Nice. Ezekiel, I was 1 year old.
Cowboy said, holy Christ, ABBA.
I just look like I'm 65.
Michael says, as it cut out early, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Tutworks went to see Blue Oyster Cult and Styx. Wicked Twitchy says, hey, Alan, is that still wet clay, or did you switch to a different water clay? The color looks different is why I'm asking.
It's a water clay now. I ran out of wet, so I am going with this. And I'm kind of working on my silhouette a little bit right now. There's no reason why I couldn't put remote control eyes in this sucker.
Ezekiel said David Lee Roth in 88 was amazing.
Yeah.
Dead End says, hello from Tallahassee.
Hello. Yeah, they look weird with texture, DJ.
Chad feels like no one's going to be able to compete with Ezekiel on concerts.
No.
There's a lot of good music.
I've seen the band Poison in concert 7 times
Don't need nothing but a good time.
because my sister was a huge Poison fan, and I went with them.
Can't forget Alice Cooper.
But I kind of always looked older, so everyone assumed I was 5 or 6 years older than what I was.
Ezekiel says he used to work for a guitar string company for many years and got to see so many bands. Cobweb saw Creed 3 times.
I like their song "Rusted and Weathered." I feel that way pretty often.
Rob O'Brien says, I actually do not like concerts.
I don't either. I don't like concerts. They're too loud. Like, I'm not a loud guy.
Brandon D says he sees Dave Matthews on every tour.
Okay.
Big dog. I'm sorry.
I have a bad habit. I confuse Dave Matthews and Peter Gabriel, which pisses off both Dave Matthews fans and Peter Gabriel fans. But for some reason, in my head, I mix them up. But I'm consistent.
In mixing.
Yeah.
Horror Beauty says, fun fact, she used to be a roadie, not sharing any stories.
Hooray!
Alan, when I finish this mask, I'm going to send you shut up. I want to send you a blank poll. Thank you for all your help from DJ.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Gregory Haynes says, first concert, Pointer Sisters and Lionel Richie at OKC. No
All
one's got
right.
nothing. Hello. Jesse Papa Bear says, Michael Jackson, March 20th, 1988, Louisville, Kentucky. He was 13.
Michael Jackson was 13?
No, he was 13.
Okay.
Jesse was 13.
Okay. That's a good first opening concert.
Alan, you said this is going to be a hammerhead shark.
Yes.
If so, where will the actor's eyes be planned, and will it be an open mouth like a Meg mask?
Yes. I think making a shark with a closed mouth is silly, especially for haunted house use. And I don't know if you can see, but right here are the actor's eyes. See those little holes? Right now it's like a ninja wearing a mushroom hat. I'm hoping I'll make it look more shark-like as time goes by.
So Logan says, I bought a kidney-shaped scraper set to smooth my mask. What does raking do?
So raking is part of the smoothing process. Let me find some good rakes. Do I have any right here with me?
Andrew Newman says, I caught hammerhead. What's frack making?
Web store. She's making web store.
What's up, bro?
So this is like a wire wrap rake, which is a very easy one for you to make yourself at home. See that? And it's just one wire wrapped around another. And as you run it across your sculpture, it creates all these little lines. Then you go back the other way and you create lines the other way. But it's knocking off the highs and it's filling in the lows. And then you buff that out. If you're using, I think you're using monster clay, you use some kind of a solvent. Odorless mineral spirits, I think, works on monster clay. I don't do a lot of monster clay, and I use naphtha, which I don't recommend anybody use naphtha for anything unless they have to.
Rich recommends lighter fluid, but also says,
Yeah,
be crazy careful.
yeah, be careful with it.
Cobweb says the newbie pinup girl is making web store.
Yes. Yeah, you're the new pinup girl.
Okay.
That might stick. Be careful. What did you start Dark Hour year one? Like as an actress?
No.
Year two?
No.
When did you start?
June of 2015.
Because it all runs together in my head. I'll be honest with
I
you.
understand. June 2015.
Okay, so second year.
Was that?
Yeah, second year.
Yeah.
Our first year open. No, 13, 14, third. Third year.
So Cobweb says, Alan sort of looks like the Craftsman sock puppet. Alan's sort of looks like the Craftsman
Yes.
sock puppet.
Yes, it does.
Not you. You're Sculpt.
Right. Yeah, I figured that.
Wicked says mineral spirits will also smooth monster clay.
Yeah, that's whatever flavor of cancer you would like to put in your body. That's what you can use. So I'm with my toothed kidney, I'm raking my sculpture right now, and I'm so early. Like I'm just slapping clay on here because I have so much buildup to do to make a hammerhead. I'm not even funny. Trying to get it even. A hammerhead is a challenging because all right. I don't think they're scary looking unless you see them in the water, you see the whole hammerhead, you see the fins, you see, their shape and their tail, and you see them move. So a hammerhead face to me is not that scary. So I'm going to have to play with this a little bit to put a little bit of Munster in it.
So Wicked also says heat works and it's a little bit, but just a little bit less toxic.
Yeah, I mean, you could hit it with a hair dryer is probably not going to do much, but a heat gun will help. But to me, I worry about detail at that point in time because you're turning it into liquid, or you could turn it into liquid if you're not careful.
Rue says he almost started on a hammerhead build today on his own.
Really?
Really?
You muscling into my turf, finding out what kind of mask I'm going to make, you jump in the gun.
Cobweb says
Go for it. Save me the trouble.
Cobweb says that's every shark in the water.
Yeah. I mean,
not very
yeah.
scary looking. Yeah.
They look a little derpy until there's one going by you.
Mark FX says, greetings, folks.
Greetings and salutations. I actually like kind of what's happening back here. I think I need to get my horizon.
Rue says he
wrong.
thinks he means heat, H-E-A-T, as in for cars.
Oh, maybe that's probably just the same thing as a like carburetor cleaner, which will also calm down some monster clay. But again, don't get on your skin.
Logan wants to know if Shannon's having a night to herself tonight.
Shannon is probably working on stuff. She knows things. Also, it's hard to keep focus when there's too many people in the shop. So, like, there's some nights where it was me and Rob and Stacy and Stan and I all in the shop. I wouldn't go live because I have to focus on so many. There's just too much going on, and it wouldn't be a good presentation for you guys. Amber, scoot back to that. Switch.
Oh, we're dancing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Heat is the brand name. It's got 2 E's. It's basically isopropyl alcohol.
Okay. But like temperature.
Shannon's on.
Also.
She says next
Hi.
round of shirts and masks going out soon.
Yeah, that's probably what she's working on.
Brandon says methyl alcohol often is a major additive, and that's a rough component. But Wicked said, no, I actually meant heat from like a heat gun or a butane torch, but yeah, that would probably soften it too.
Yeah, you know what? There are a lot of guys who use like a creme brulee torch. They'll use that on their sculpture.
Sato says, hi everyone, hope you're all good. Good to see everyone today.
Hello, myself okay.
It's not okay. Lots of people saying hello to Shannon.
That's what they do. Alexa, countdown 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
We'll do this, and then we'll switch again in 15 minutes.
Okay.
That way they get a shift in perspective.
Gotcha.
Cobweb says, I use a MAP gas torch and almost set my gator on fire today.
Good times. Oh,
Jana says hi. Hi, baby.
Hi. Hi.
Big Dog says CNC. Rue says, hi, Jana. Logan says, I use plastilina clay. If I rake that, I don't know how to smooth it out.
Chemicals. It's all chemicals, man. Unless you're using water-based clay, the answer is chemicals. Yeah. So I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to use merman's teeth, which are shark teeth, on my hammerhead shark mask. So I think that'll make my life a little easier, and I like them. I bet I can heat them up and open them up, because obviously this mouth is going to be bigger, so I'll need 2 sets of teeth per jaw. Yeah, it'll work. I think.
Rob O'Brien says, alcohol will smooth plastilina.
Like 99. Don't go with the lesser stuff. I was all happy because I saw alcohol in the store the other day.
Jana says, what's up, everyone?
Hello, Jana.
Hi.
It was like 40% alcohol. And I'm like, what? This isn't good for anything. I didn't even know those would drink this.
I didn't realize 99% alcohol was so expensive.
Yeah, right. It's expensive. Sorry, Stan.
Oh, you're good.
See, I have a hard time with that too.
1980 says, I use a cheap model clay. It sculpts easy, molds easy. It's a little pricey for average, about $2 a pound. And Thomas says, how does a heat gun work on plastilina?
Good, good, but you got to be careful, man, because it happens fast. You might be like, this isn't doing anything, and then boom, your face is liquid. I'm adjusting some references. Okay.
Third degree says, when you spray alcohol inks and do rub outs, you use 70% or 99% alcohol?
So I add water to 99 to make it roughly 70% because I have a big stock of 99% alcohol. And Edmonds uses 70% alcohol.
Ezekiel says, hopefully Amber's not wrecking her phone with all the clay swipes.
Yeah, well,
That's,
it happens.
yeah.
Chad says, any idea if you will put LEDs in the web store mask to get the red eyes look?
Well, I mean, I don't know that he had glowing red eyes, but it's possible.
Wicked says, don't hold in there for long and sweep over the area and keep moving.
Yes. Alexa, what time is it?
The time is 8:32 p.m.
We've been at this almost
Enjoy
an
your
hour.
night.
Okay.
How do you feel your sculpture is going?
I don't like its silhouette.
Because you don't like the silhouette of the figure?
No, I like the silhouette. I have I realize that I don't make mine, they go wide, not upright. They're not as athletic and handsome, scary as
Okay.
I want. I make them more wide. Yeah.
Chuck says he wants to say hi, hey from Glen Burnie, Maryland.
Hey, I was raised in Harford County, Maryland.
I used to live in Hanover, Maryland.
Yeah.
Oh, Wicked said, sorry, he meant the heat gun. Don't hold it in one spot for too long.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Robert Bryan says, can we see the reference Amber is using for web store?
It's,
Can you just show your phone?
sure.
Stacy says, Tony says, hello, Amber.
Hi, Tony. How are you?
Logan likes the fact that your outfit matches so nicely.
Oh, thank you so much.
They don't say that to me a lot.
Nor me. Cobweb says he's seen Maryland on the map before.
That's great, Cobwebs. We appreciate you.
There's,
Thomas used to teach in Hagerstown.
Yeah, that's nice. A guy from Hagerstown, when I was wrestling, gave me an illegal elbow and busted my lip really good. And I had to get a mask in order to finish wrestling. But that was back when they would just let kids bleed anywhere they wanted. Good times.
Good times.
I won the match, but you broke my face pretty good.
Scott says your shirt is nice too, Alan.
Thank you.
Stacy says he's as of today the parent of a 17-year-old daughter, Amber.
oh. Happy
So he's
birthday.
feeling old.
Yeah, I've had.
You should.
Is it Eddie or Edie? Says, howdy, Alan.
It's Edie.
Edie.
We got a thank you card from Edie today. Awesome. Thank you so much. Excellent art.
1980 said, Alan is the beauty, Amber is the brains.
Maybe.
Wicked says, Alan, I love your outfit too, especially that shirt.
What? It's got a beaver on it. A ghost beaver.
Ghost Beaver.
What?
Thomas says, Alan, you are a brawler from way back, huh?
It's fun. Yes. I enjoyed fighting. It was a good time. It was a hobby.
Cobweb says, I have a 20-year-old. Talk about old.
20-year-old. Yeah, that's different. That's the person. You made a person. I've never made a person
They're all
before.
persons.
I've made a lot of stuff. Not until they're like 25.
Edie says, big deal, I have one that is almost 40.
Well,
Yeah.
Come on.
just because you took care of yours.
Ross says he misses Rob and his tangents.
Well, there you go. Yes, you do. There are certainly times when I miss Rob too. And I heard that.
Chad says, my wife would like me to try an alien sculpt. When I look up references, it seems they all look the same. I would like to use deep sea fish as an inspiration. Any tips to find some cool ideas?
I would say use deep sea fish as inspiration. Yes, and what I would say is look up horror art on like Pinterest or something, because there's a lot of like real different styles out there that haven't hit big yet. Look at some of the Japanese horror artists. They have some pretty fun and crazy styles, and they're not trapped in a, Mike Blue Barlow type of art pattern. So yeah, look up Japanese horror art, and I think you'll find some cool stuff.
Rodney Pope says, good night, everyone.
Good night, Ryan.
Good night.
Good night. Jerry says, street fighting is the best.
It used to be fun. Like there was a mall that was basically shut down, and there was one mall, Harford County Mall, where you would go there, and we would just go, and me and my friends would wait to be recruited for whatever fight there was, and then we would hop in someone's car and then drive over to, the other mall and fight in the parking lot. It was awesome. It was a good time. It really was.
Cobweb says, use lightless fish. They're so deep they never see the light. Yeah.
Look up cavefish or look up salamanders. I wouldn't mind seeing one that was based off of water dog. I think that's a good look with those crazy frills. And let's just say it's awesome that your wife wants you to sculpt an alien. The fact that your wife wants you to make a monster is cool to begin with.
CS says he has a cat that's about 8 years old. Does that count?
Yes.
Sure. Yes.
I have an almost 15-year-old cat. It's a lot of food.
Kept a plant alive in Orlando for 4 years. It was a Madagascar dragon palm. And now I recommend them to everyone. But I had a hard time killing them. Like I would literally pour a soda into it once every couple of weeks when I remember. It would get a Coke.
That's so good.
Yeah. I've never once in my life gotten back a security deposit. So at that point in time, the sink in my kitchen might have had some plaster in it.
You were building all the things.
Yep.
Scott says, Stan, what is your best scare tactic?
Yes, Dan.
I'm
Yes, Stan.
I'm kind of a creeper. I've been told I'm more of a lurker type creeping guy.
Which you don't want everybody doing that, but it's okay for one or two to do it.
I saw a niche, a niche, if you will, that there weren't a lot of creepy lurkers. So I kind of filled that gap a little bit.
You were a good Nosferatu.
I was a lurking Nosferatu. Ezekiel says, our daughters harder than sons to raise. Amber? Since you have one each.
I say yes. I say yes.
I would say yes too. And it's for a terrible reason. Because I would worry about hurting a girl's feelings, but I wouldn't worry about hurting the boy's feelings.
Oh, no, mine's
Which you
ruthless.
can see why I didn't have any
Mine's
children.
ruthless.
So this looks like a turkey. I'm hoping it goes somewhere.
Scott says, how many kids do you have, Amber?
I have two, a boy and a girl.
Third Degree says, creepers balance out all the jump scares. Thank you.
This is true.
They do.
Cobweb says, daughters are hell. I have a 9-year-old who has 90% of my DNA.
How unfortunate.
Ezekiel says, my son's a dream, my daughter is a terrorist. My dad says she takes after me.
Okay.
All right, I need to ask.
And you're officially newbie pinup girl.
I'm newbie.
It's possible you've been called worse.
It is. It's
question?
I do, because I'm sitting here deciding where our eyes are going to go.
Let me see your face.
For real eyes. For real eyes.
Okay. Oh, you're getting there. You're dialing that in. Head over to the eyeball forms drawer.
Mm-hmm.
Pick yourself out some eyeball forms.
Okay.
I'm about to do the same thing.
1980 says the aliens from the movie Abyss were just huge jellyfish.
It's all fun and games to get stung by a huge jellyfish.
Man of Wars. If you get stung by one of those.
Stan, would you pull power over here and get this guy plugged in? Would you bring me 2 ping pong balls, Amber?
Yes.
Please.
Like normal size ping pong.
Ping pong balls. Ping pong ball sized. Ping pong balls. Yeah, thanks. What? I use the half without the eyes on them because it does weird me out a little bit.
All right, I think we got power. Yeah.
I'm setting eyes in mine. Boy, and this guy, he just looks derpalicious right now.
Cobweb says when that eyeball drawer opens up, we're going to lose somebody.
Yeah.
Scott wants to know about punching a jellyfish in the face.
I would punch a jellyfish. I punched parrotfish because they got nippy while we were diving. So I punched one.
1980 says I'm 99% sure where most of the eyes are right now.
I got some good eyes today from the taxidermy supply place.
But the ones that are on the table.
Yeah, they're going to go to in Rodney Pope's Beast Mode bust he ordered.
Nice.
I had a trash pull that was pretty bubbly. Alexa, stop. Back up.
Watch out. Logan says Amber, your sculpt is turning out very nicely. Likes the jaw.
We'll work, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Why is there water on the floor over there? Oh, dog
Bella.
out of the pool. Dog out of the pool.
Aaron says 6 girls and 1 boy, and the boy is the one that's giving me the gray hair.
Oh, wow.
Rotate.
Rotate.
Gotta check the thing. We got this for a second.
Yeah.
Speaking of dogs, I do see.
That's what they do. My name is your host. Your host. Yeah. I like my second reference that I just pulled up a lot better than my first reference. So I'm gonna be making some changes. This is what it's all about. Don't be scared. Smack it.
Yeah. The eyeballs really are.
Yeah, he's got little eyeballs on top of his head most of the time too. So those of you who don't know, ping pong balls are really flammable. Like way flammable. It's getting there.
Yes.
I don't know where it's getting, but it's getting there. Yes, I am speaking from experience. So Trapjaw's on the list, but the next one that I really want to do is Hordak. Hordak is on my list. Ice Age 4, Sloth. It's the Sloth.
Yes.
Shit, the Sloth.
One of those from the Cantina in Star Wars.
Yeah. Fid. Tell you, man, they're not that scary, so this is tough. Yes, a working Manny faces look nice. How's that cut going, Stan?
So it didn't do a part of it, so I just reset just that part to do it. It's going to be like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Other than that, there's a couple of lines I can't see on the screen, but it showed up on it. I don't know why it did, so I have to. I used the test piece I didn't use.
Yeah. We are in summer. It was hot today. It was a warm one.
It was hot.
It was hot.
Lisa said, you mentioned pirates for the haunt. Will those be makeup or masks?
I think everybody's going to be in a mask this year because of this year. So I see masks on the horizon for everybody of some kind. I think that there's still going to be social distancing in place, and I think just throwing every actor in a mask is going to make it easy.
Thought you wrote Horseshack. You got to go back to know who Horseshack was. Cobweb says, if I finish this gator, I'm going to dump 6 cans of Loctite on the floor and make it a dragon skull.
Well, don't do that. Buy a giant roll of industrial aluminum foil and sculpted and crumpled up aluminum foil, and then just coat it with Loctite. In my opinion. That's how I would do it.
It's the Cater. Third Degree has a radical suggestion, but maybe relocate the actor's eyes to gill slots on the hammerhead neck and push the entire head more of it.
I had actually about that. I don't want that much mask and that much foam fill up on top of their head. And it's also going to elongate the actor a bit. And I kind of want this, all of the characters I see with this hammerhead head have a bit of chunk to them. They're hefty. And that would elongate them so much. I don't know. I don't like that as much. We'll see. I mean, I'm all for moving things around, so we'll see if it's working.
Denon says good night. He or she is on the road again in the morning.
Okay, take care, man.
Ross says, is it a good idea to have a sort of backstory on a character that you want to sculpt?
It depends on who you are. A lot of people, that does them well. Some people get held back a little bit by that. Some people, it sends them in the right direction. I don't mind it, but I don't find it necessary. I want to have good imagery, and I want to have a good mindset on what's this character going to be used for. That's more important to me.
Cobweb says, I want to try balloons and then pop them to make skull cavities.
Okay. Loctite's pretty amazing, isn't it? I love that stuff.
1980 says, I would just use mesh in the neck area and painted the skin color.
The problem is that light bounces off of that and blinds your actor in a haunted house.
And you had a look from Pirates, I don't know what that is, Macus from Pirates of the Caribbean for a reference.
I have. Yes, I have. I have seen it. It is in my list of references. just keep working, keep implementing changes, and moves it. Moves it?
Moves it. I don't know.
One said it sculpts easier than breaks.
It does. It does. You know, like 4 or 5 minutes in, it gets that like sack over the top of it. You can really move it around.
Edie said, did you see the 800-pound hammerhead that was cut off Bob Hall Pier in Corpus?
No, I didn't.
1980 says, it looks like a Thanksgiving turkey from the back.
I have a history of creating those. I have seen a vampire squid.
Chad's, you got that one, right? You got it. Ryan says, Alan, do you remember the makeup design in The Last Starfighter that had a hammerhead type head? Always loved that design, kind of freaked me out as a kid.
I actually do. If you look at it, Admiral Akbar has a little bit of a hammerhead type head.
Third Degree says, looks like you could easily make the hammerhead's eyes glow with LEDs, and thanks for considering my suggestion.
Yeah, you absolutely could. I think it depends on the scene that it's in, but yeah. I like doing the actor off the LEDs in the eyes if I can give the actor a control, because I want them to be able to turn it off, and that kind of makes them hide. You know, or the opposite. Sometimes if your eyes are lit while you're standing there very still, then people think you're fake. So you're hiding like you're an animatronic. What do you think, Stan? Am I getting there?
It's very hammerheady.
I'm fighting. I'm fighting. I'm fighting my way towards hammerheadery.
Willing to play.
Right.
Big Dog says, off to bed, good night all, good night creepers. Good night, Big Dog.
Hi, big dog.
Good night.
Farewell. I'm working on the back of it now. I don't want it to look like a Thanksgiving turkey. Give me a complex. Actually, I'm pretty sure I can have success on the back of the head. It's the face that's giving me fits.
1980 says, Last Starfighter and Enemy Mine.
Enemy mine.
That was a good movie.
I haven't seen that, I bet, in 25 years.
Orders. They just jump in the pool. Is that what they do?
Yeah. Yeah, they jump in the pool whenever they want.
Actually, it's only his head. So maybe he just was really warm. Just dunk his whole head in the pool. Cobwebs loved Enemy Mine and just watched Beastmaster.
Beastmaster. Yeah.
Darn. Daniel Martin asks, will you fill in the hammer areas with foam or will it stay in a shape all on its own?
Depending on how thick I pour it. But odds are really good that I will have to fill a little bit of foam in there.
Dennis Quaid in Inner Space. Louis Gossett Jr. was amazing in Enemy Mine. He made that cool raspy voice. And gurgly kind of, yeah. Ryan asks, I know you're making a shark type character. Are you building a muscle suit? I keep thinking about the cartoon Street Sharks.
It's possible. I do like the cartoon Street Sharks. I like where your head is going, but we'll have to see how that works out.
Amber, can you turn your sculpt so that we can see the face of Webster?
She's getting there.
Scott says we have 93 viewers.
Sweet. How's it going, guys? That's getting better.
Yeah.
That's getting better. I'm liking it more.
Still kind of has a sock puppet from the side.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. What'd you call them? You said they would look like what? When they're like in the water? Dungly or something?
Derpy.
Derpy.
It looked derpy, yeah.
Third Degree says, excellent, Amber. Scott says it looks good.
All right.
Fondy says, both looking good. Munster of Herman says, looks like Sid.
Yeah, I'm getting out of the Sid stage, luckily.
Justin says, hey, Alan, what paints do you use to paint resin pieces?
Well, it depends on the kind of resin, and make sure you really clean your resin, because a lot of times what happens on the resin is there is mold release stuck to it that you can't see, so really clean it very well. If I'm molding it, then I prefer to spray an auto body primer in the mold before I pour it up, and then I paint it with car paints, auto body paints.
Third Degree says, nice, Alan, getting more of a Stingray vibe.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird mix. I know that much.
Web says, web store is looking just like the cartoon.
Yeah.
However, there is a little bit of a disagreement because 1980 thinks the face should taper more toward the chin because the jowls look a little wide.
You're right. I agree with that. I do agree with that.
How dare you?
This is
Block this man.
That silhouette. I have a problem making it more fat, wide, elongated.
Third Degree says the stingrays are in the same family as sharks.
Plug me in.
It's all gonna explode.
Skates and rays.
Skates and rays. Edie says, just look up the vampire squid and not know that was a thing. I didn't know that Salukis could see 270-degree field of vision.
Salukis?
The dogs.
Oh.
Yeah. That's just random stuff I learned like 2 days ago. Rob O'Brien wants to know more than Amber about backseat sculptors.
No, no one did. I find it best if people are unprepared.
It's more amusing that way.
Way more.
Better ratings. Chad Smith says he thinks he will use a vampire squid as an inspiration on an alien.
Okay.
Justin Rudy says, hey, Alan.
Hey, Justin.
Cobweb says, you've been on such a He-Man kick, will you ever switch over to a Thundercat vibe?
Yes.
There's, you know what, aside from the Thundercats, you have Mumra, Monkeyan, Slive, Vulture-Man, Jackal-Man. I mean, they're just not as cool. They're not as varied.
Ezekiel says, I always run the gauntlet when you Google some name you get from the creepers. End up on Urban Dictionary, total education.
Yeah, that might not be the kind of education we want, Ezekiel.
Edie says, have you thought of doing a carnivorous plant mask?
Listen, Plant Monster was on that list in the beginning, and people were so against seeing the Plant Monster, I just left them off the list. So, yes, thought about it, gotta make one, but, no.
Don't leave out Panthro. Jana says, I'm off to bed, folks. Can't wait to see the finished product.
Good night, Jana.
Good night.
Good night, darling. Sleep well.
Don't make it weird, Stan.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you're married.
Yeah, to her.
Yeah. Okay, so I just put in I put in a few teeth up top. I know I'm going to need 2 bits to make the thing. Now it really looks like Sid.
Ah! Grr. Angry shark. Justin says, with all these new sculpts and all of your molds, how do you decide what to bring to a trade show?
You bring everything. And you get more booths. Just get more booths, bring more stuff.
Ryan says his favorite marine type creature is definitely the I guess what, cuttlefish. They are resilient, brilliantly designed creatures. What's that?
She just said cuttlefish quietly under her breath.
I read it right as it's on
It was almost creepy.
it. Stan, you uneducated bastard. Chawakimon says, looks like Sid has rabies. Very cool.
Hold on, say her name again.
I got it all wrong. Chawaki Moon. I said Chawakimon. Hey.
That sounds like Chewbacca's cousin.
Are there teeth?
Yeah.
Logan says, Hammerhead's looking awesome.
It's labeled.
See, I said it's good for a laugh scare or a distraction for a big square. Daniel says, Allie can paint Beast Mode green, then he's got the Moss Man character.
Yes, I can. I actually have flocking for that.
You can flock him and make
I
him
can
Moss Man.
flock the heck out of him. You want to hear flocking mine?
Thomas says, Alan, you never cease to amaze. Can't wait to see the final Hammerhead. Keep challenging yourself. I gotta go to work early. I'll take care.
Good night. Thank you. Very kind. Would you,
So I got the name right. I'm just said I got the name right.
like, the first time or the second time?
Like one of the times. There were a lot of chances.
Yeah. The first one sounded like you, like Bob Marley was calling Chewbacca over in a bar. Chewbacca monk. In the pliers and crescent wrench drawer, would you hand me a set of cutters? Thank you. Now, this may shoot teeth across the room. I'm not aiming them at anyone.
Lisa says, reminds me of Gantu from Lilo and Stitch.
I never saw Lilo and Stitch.
I never saw it either. Cash says, hi, friends.
Hi.
Hey, Cash. You know Amber.
It's true.
Hey.
Chad said, it's like Worcestershire. The faster you say it, the more accurate it sounds.
Yes, that's very, very safe.
When you mumble the words to that song, you don't really know them, but you don't want to get caught.
I have that beat because I don't know the words to any songs.
Gantu is a shark alien cop.
Okay.
James Minnick says, hi, Alan, how are you tonight?
James, I'm fine. I am great.
This might be a bit bigger.
You could always push them in more. And there's mediums. You got larges.
Yeah, they're older.
I was thinking that more teeth would make him look scary. So far, it's not happening.
Justin Rudy says, hey, Alan, do you have any videos on airbrushing veins?
I don't know. I know I have it on my airbrush makeup videos that I do because veining is it's a big technique for makeup. But I don't know that I have any specifically on my YouTube channel. I do an airbrush makeup on one of them, I think it is part 5 of my airbrush series, which is now almost complete. That I started 3 years ago.
Graphy UK says, evening guys.
Good evening. Going further. I'm going to pull this table away. You tell me if you guys see Pete. Amber, get ready.
Yes. Yeah.
Good save, Stan.
Almost had a Rob S moment. "1980 says, remember in art class there was always that one kid who could sculpt or paint anything? Amber is giving off those vibes."
Yeah, she's
Thanks.
pretty good for the time she's got in it.
Ezekiel says, Sid got bitten by a werewolf, and James says, are you making a Mac tonight, Alan?
Well, that was a moon shape.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you know who played Mac tonight? Doug Jones.
Really?
Yes. Inside of that moon head costume was Doug Jones.
Playing the piano.
That's right.
Cobweb says, when she sculpts Mum Raw, I'll be impressed. It's a lot of, this is
Just
a lot of
trying to
bandages.
trick us. We're not going to fall for your ways.
Great, the wind and then the, bandage.
It's the same cutscene every time.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
It was great.
Yeah.
No, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it was the kind of money they made. They could have.
Okay, I think I need to widen this head out a little bit more. That is a hammerhead. Like I get hammerhead vibes. I want to add big neck muscles in here. I want to add neck muscles that connect into the body a little better. But boy, do I like this rough, or do I want to widen his eyes some?
Ezekiel says Amber needs a hand in Karen too. And Chad says it always seems to come back to kaiju. Ezekiel says wider.
Yeah, I think I have to go wider.
Cobweb says gotta drive home. Good night, hot fam.
Good night.
Third degree says also vote for wider.
Bloop. Amber, will you put your hand under this? Thanks. Now it's her monster tank.
Mike Wazowski.
I will be right back. I'm going to run the house real quick. Be right back. Oh, shit. Hate doing that.
So anytime Alan leaves,
Mm-hmm.
you know what's up, right?
No, what's up?
Story time.
Story.
Since you're the guest, you have to tell a story until he comes back.
I'm not prepared to tell a story just yet. I'm
That's
so
called
focused.
that's called dead air when you don't
Oh,
say anything.
well, you're here. You could tell
I'm
an amazing
watching.
story.
I'm watching questions.
Ah.
See, look. Story time. Everybody. Amber.
I have to tell stories.
Story time.
Okay, what kind of stories have been told? Help me with that.
Hi, Connie. Any story you want?
Any?
I'll tell my story about a balance real quick.
Okay.
my story was, my best friend, he lives in Henderson, Nevada, and he and I, we do a lot of prop builds together. Like we'll do FaceTime and build stuff together. I started working here, and I started coming to Steel Beast, and he said, "You work for Alan Hobbs?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And so he started watching videos, and he logs on every once in a while, and he pulled me aside, one day last time I actually saw him, and he says, "Hey, dude, I gotta ask you a question." He's like, "Is Alan really like that in real life, or is that the character he plays? And does he really yell at Rob that much?" He's like, "Is it all like he goes, what's he like in real life?" He asked me, he said, "What's he like in real life?" And I said, "Exactly what you see when you see him on the show, or on his live streams, or on YouTube, is exactly what he's like all the time. And he yells at Rob no matter where we're at. Damn it, Rob, it doesn't matter." That's
That's your story.
That's my story, to let you have time to build up to your story.
I was building up a note.
I feel like I'm interviewing you now for some kind of show. The other thing is, so all of my bosses have been here tonight in one form or another. I work for Alan when I'm here, I work for Amber when I'm not here, and my wife was on for a while before she went to bed. So literally every boss I have at one point was right, like in the same room at the same time, more or less. No pressure at all.
None.
Cash wants to know if he really yells at Rob. Yeah. Scott wants to know, Amber, what's the best patron scare response?
The what? Best patron scare response? That is absolutely a terrified shriek, and then a couple, 3 steps afterwards, laughter. That's the best. I'm not a fan of putting people on the floor. I mean, it's sort of fun, but I think the laughter, once they know that the scares are for reals, yeah, that's the best.
Ezekiel says, "Well done, Stan. You didn't break or drop anything. Pretty good for Rob part 2. The night is young. There's still a chance to kick something over or break something."
Is that a thing?
Almost broke the phone a couple of times. Kicked over a mold full of latex ones. The whole thing.
Oh, wow.
I'm not the most clumsy one here, but it's a really close race. Yeah, Stacy's right. The night is still really young. Hi, Connie. How are you? Connie was one of the first monster camp I got to work at, and she made this really cool. Like, had these great ears, learned so much, had so much fun working with her and her husband. It was so amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I want to go to Monster Camp.
it's coming. It's on its way. See, Chad's been around. He remembers when I kicked over the latex. Philip Earl just logged in. Hi, Philip.
That was a phone call.
Oh, we're live. We ain't got time for the phone.
Can I call you back later? I'm sculpting. You can go on YouTube. Bye.
Well, here's my first Amber story. So I've known it's been a little bit over a year, and I went to Texas Frightmare Weekend, and I saw this booth, and it said Dark Hour Haunted House, and I really wanted to get into this because I've talked about it before. I'm more cosplay and prop building and suit making, and I really wanted to get into learning some of these other things and get into a professional way. So I saw Dark Hour, and I'd driven by it, and I knew it existed, and I knew it was this year-round haunt. And I went to the booth, and I talked to this really nice lady, and I said, "Well, I want to work, but I want to haunt. I want to be really, really involved." And they said, "Well, you have to talk to the casting director." And I said, "Okay, well, where is she?" "Well, she's not here right now." "You weren't at the booth."
Ah.
And so I walked around, my wife and I, we walked around, and we took pictures, and I met Tom Savini, and I had this really great time. And I came back to the booth, and they said, she's still not back yet. Can you come back in like 10 minutes? I said, yeah, absolutely. And I hung around for a long. I was that guy, that like the booth lurking because I'm a creeper, like a lurker guy. So
This makes sense now.
yeah. So I was like, I kept hanging around, hoping this lady was going to come back, And so I left, and I walked around some more, and decided the line to meet Robert England was too long. So I came back, and finally she was there, and I took my 60-second elevator pitch and turned it into like 20 minutes. Like this poor lady was like trapped; she couldn't leave. Like I blocked her where she could not get out of the booth until she talked to me, and gave her all my info, and I left, and I went straight home, and I filled out the application, and I did all this stuff, and I didn't hear back from her. So I had to inundate her with phone calls. And how many voicemails did I leave you? 7 voicemails. I left this wonderful person here to try to get her to interview me so that I could be a haunter. And I started getting a little, I was getting a little, turb's not the right word, I was kind of losing faith.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, she did call because I drove her completely nuts with emails and calls. And eventually, she made it up, and we got to go to Dark Hour, and I got this amazing tour, and I got to meet Alan. And 6-7 months later, I started actually working for you. Working in a beyond haunting capacity, and that's my Amber story.
Yeah. Perseverance. That's the story.
So yes, Chad, she hired me so I would leave her the hell alone. I've heard her tell her side of it, and that's kind of what happened.
That's not what I ever said.
Just so I would leave her alone, like, quit calling me, dude.
Yes. You have a wonderful skill set.
I
And you're
I love that, Ezekiel. I'm going to put that on a shirt, and I will send you a nickel every time somebody buys one.
what's that?
Persistence.
Yes.
I like to tell people I'm feeling fantastic on a good day. Anyone else that says that has a unique quote?
Who told the story?
I told all the stories. I could not get Amber to tell a story.
I'm building the nose. It looks more like a dog than it does, I guess.
You want a clip bar?
Yes.
Chad says Amber's slacking, but she's really focused. Turn that video on.
It doesn't matter. I only buy ones I like, so.
I didn't know I didn't know it was story time. They come prepared. It was like a story time stuff. I don't know if it helps. I'm afraid to tell the stories.
Did you get the email checklist when you knew you were going to be a guest? Oh. My AP should have told you that.
Cash says, little did they know a little Barlow was born by me harassing you into getting a job.
That's right.
Ezekiel says, so Amber, next visit, bring old clothes and have your stories.
Got it. Thank you. Good advice. Oh, these are old clothes.
It's not an old clothes.
Philip says, so that's how to get to do more than just haunt.
What's that?
Got to drive your casting director crazy.
Or your build crew director, or your marketing director, or whoever.
All those people, all the people.
You're so gone.
Chad said, in my case, all those people are just me. Casting director, media director, creative director.
That happens sometimes. And that's a lovely and pure way to do it. There was a year at Dark Hour where I was most of those things. That year sucked.
Philip says he kind of likes the freaky tooth Freddy.
This does have a charm to it right now, like the way it's arranged.
Stacy likes, she's digging the angry slug look.
You mean me all the time, or the sculpture?
Generation X says, hi Alan, what are y'all working on tonight?
I'm working on a hammerhead sculpture. Doesn't look like it right now. Amber is working on a web store sculpture from Masters of the Universe. If you want to look up that character, in case you're a youngin'. Yeah, that's pretty much all we have time for.
No, let's put that out.
No, throw it away. Dog's insane.
Stacy said she meant the sculpt.
No.
You're not getting my quick buck. Cute face.
Jamie, come here, buddy. Are you trying to reason with the dog? Okay. If it works, I want to learn your secrets.
You met my dog. You know there's no.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
there's no.
Stan, please don't train my dog.
They're getting better. I walk them individually every day. We're working on stuff. Joey's less going to attack some civilians someday. "1980 says it's the crab from Moana." Moana? Never heard of that.
You know, all these Disney movies.
Wow. Just needs to show.
Moana?
Never saw that movie. Generation X says, who is your guest tonight?
This is Amber. Amber is our casting director at Dark Hour Haunted House. The haunted house that I direct in Texas.
Third Degree says, gotta drop. Great time tonight. Be safe. Be well, everyone. Have a great night.
Good night.
Hey, thanks, bye!
Now it looks like the Walters.
Where are you, sculpture? I'm a stupid sandwich. Yeah. Stupid sandwich.
That was gonna help. Chad says, wow, you're going way out there.
Well, I'm already home, so my only option now is to go big.
Cash was kind enough to send a reference photo for you.
Who is that?
I don't know who that is.
Oh. Quick, Stan, get hip.
Yeah, it's a SpongeBob thing.
I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob.
I haven't. Not once.
What's that?
Musical's great too.
I haven't been hip or cool in so long. I don't even know what that is.
You're waiting for it to come back around?
Yeah, just so I don't have to work. It's like, there it is. I'll be standing there.
Oh!
No. Wow, Amber. Looks like a Dr.
She didn't know she was sculpting today.
This looks like a Dr. Seuss thing.
Mhm.
Nice, and stories. It's story time.
Masato says it's distracting having such an attractive sculptor on tonight, and
Thank
Amber
you.
is pretty cute too.
Yeah, thank you.
Flatten the punchline.
Okay, I'm gonna get these lights shot.
I like that.
I'm gonna see, hopefully I'm not going to,
A lot of hoses.
Don't rob it. Scott says hi, Shannon.
Hey, Scott.
Scott, honey.
So you'll stay with me? Okay.
He's bad when he's not here. It's worse when he is here.
Stacy says she's gonna feel terribly underdressed the next time I'm at the shop.
I feel underdressed.
These are old.
I must remember to change.
This whole thing.
These medical symbols are perfection, man.
What's that? I'm sorry. We got a guy. It works out well.
So good. They're perfect. Seriously.
This is the.
It is just beautiful.
That is more alien. It is less Sid the Sloth. I like the proportions better.
Oh, cool.
1980 said, no way I could work for a boss that pretty. I would just be staring at him all day long. I have lost 70 pounds. That helps.
Good for you.
Since November. I want to live. That's not the way I was headed.
So no more chocolate croissants for that.
Yeah. I was trying to back off of those anyway. So.
But then I
Hey
miss
man,
all of it.
stress eating is a real thing.
It really is.
Always.
Okay, I'm marrying these two together as best as I can, but now I will have to put some shims in. So, I don't always get stuff right on the first try, guys. I just don't slow down while I'm making my changes. If there's something that isn't working, just because a mistake took you a long time to make doesn't mean you shouldn't change it. I'm not going to get comfortable with something that isn't good. Make it better. I never understood the question, do you like who you are as a person? If I didn't, I would change. Change comes very easy to me. Anytime Rue is here and he sees me cut something off with the wire, he just winces like crazy.
Until you're truly mad enough that you. Yeah. You're better at it because you're practiced at that.
Yeah, I'll just whack it off. I'll fix it. There's nothing that can happen to this. Like, if we push it off the table,
Yeah.
I can fix it. It's mud, you know? What have I got in it now? I got 2 hours in it. You have 2 hours in your sketch. Okay, I am liking this a lot better. I think that was the right choice to widen that out. Amber is making a character called Websor from the Masters of the Universe. She was assigned this. It wasn't her choice. So, there you go.
So good, man. So cool.
Yeah, you will get lots of help with your sculpture while you're here. Because everybody's like, do this, do this, do this. You should do this. Some of them are right. And they also have a perspective that we don't. So there's a detriment to being right on top of the work sometimes.
Yes.
Amber, you ready to rotate?
Sure.
Stan, we take this?
Are you gonna need it again, or can I plug it?
No, I don't need it. And Amber, would you grab that under the table?
I can move it up. Good save.
Dog? I appreciate all those times I did it alone.
Yeah, it's a lot heavier than I had originally thought.
Well, there's about 300 pounds of clay on it. Is this your first full head mask?
Yes. I
You
know.
know, you know why I would guess that?
Because I haven't done anything.
You haven't
to the
done a
back.
thing to the back of the head.
I'm pretending to go along. Exactly what I do.
Laura says she had to step away from emergency puppy sitting. What did she miss?
I cut his eyes off and made mine wider.
Cash says, quote, I'm not going to get comfortable with something that isn't good.
No.
She thinks if you created a calendar with Alan quotes each day, she'd buy it.
Uh-oh. Well, probably a lot of them would be stupid. So just be aware of it.
There's January.
Like one day would be like, where's the pie? That's my quote.
1980 said, someone needs a second camera so we can have side-by-side feeds.
Boy,
We ain't running no TV studio.
that's, yeah, I mean, it's possible. I know there's things that do that. I don't have those things.
I'll take your advice and maybe do something back here.
Where's your work on the back of it?
Paul Bennett says, hello everyone, been busy all day in out of town. All day in out of town.
Yeah.
I'll just read it. It's okay.
Stan, why is there two big butt cheeks in the back of his head like that?
I don't know.
Because I want a reference point to touch the actor's head. If it was all up here, you'd have to put so much foam in it. But this way, this is going to sit on his head, and you can kind of foam around it. What was that for, Stan?
Or likes the eyes further apart.
Me too. Yeah, they're a lot further apart. It makes it more menacing. Oddly enough, it's a little weird, but it does.
Chance wants to know where Shannon's at.
Shannon's in the other room. She's taking pictures of blanks for the website, so we can add more blanks to the website soon.
Can we see Amber's sculpt your face? Kind of like a two-parter.
Okay.
Chad says, Amber really likes to use her hands. I don't think I've seen her use a tool yet.
You can't dial in really until you start using tools. It's unnatural to use tools, but it's be a tool using human labor.
Yes.
And she continues not to use tools.
My first sculpt was without tools, mostly.
None.
Well, I find them out. I did. I used Dr. Pimple Poppers.
Those are great.
They work.
Okay.
Porter says, nice Amber. Ezekiel says, awesome. Amber looking good. Paul says, cool looking. Generation X says, beauty and talent. Could mean anybody. Fondian says, I am looking for sculpting bows for half masks, but all the ones I have found are shallow. I would like to find one like you make for Monster Camp.
I gotta start selling eventually. You have a goat, you have a murder hornet, and you need a beast mode, which is on that bus back there.
Gregory says,
Oh, that wasn't even me.
No.
I thought I wheeled back onto a dog, but they were one yipped each other.
Hammerhead says, or Gregory says, hammerheads have eyes facing the sides. Are you keeping yours facing forward?
Yes, mine are going to face forward since we're predatory. And you have to draw away from the actor's eyes, and they're going to approach the customer head on. So I want the eyes straight up front. And also, if I light these, then he can show up like the headlights of a car coming out of the fog. I think that'll be cool. Not that I've thought about it or anything.
Horror Beauty says, tools are your friend, Amber. Don't be afraid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen to Horror Beauty.
Scott says, Amber has been very workmanlike tonight. Sculpt is looking good. Chad says, sculpting is so cool. Almost everyone has their own style.
That's a good loop tool. Oh, you want a rake? Oh, that's a good rake. Okay. Here. Do that one. Oh, I'll grab some oranges.
Ezekiel says, do it your way, Amber.
Conform. Do the thing.
Jamie. Apparently, that was the reason. People are excited you're using a tool now.
Okay, excellent. I gotta see the back of the head.
Ezekiel says she's forcing her will onto the clay,
She is.
just like the wise man says to. Dude, you're killing me, Smalls. Come here. There you go. Chad says she's still working her primary forms and hands are good for that.
Thank you.
Hands are good. I think rakes are faster. This is a lovely rake.
Okay, thank you.
And there's this guy for smoothing, really good. Chaining. Don't eat the clay. Don't eat that. I'm not stopping you from having snacks. I'm keeping you from poisoning your duodenum. No one likes to poison duodenum. Another quote for a calendar.
You could do a whole calendar just off of the selfies you've taken on other people's phones.
Yes.
You could do an 18-month calendar with that one.
At least.
At least. You gotta save some for the next year. You gotta keep
Oh, he'll get
version 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 5? 5.
What's 5?
5.
Did you
Things.
count the ridges?
Get the bridge. What is this? What is this spider? What is it?
Okay, well, honestly, the original toy, the sculpture on it, it's pretty terrible. It's very simple, but it's kind of like a sagittal crest.
It.
It's a little slee stack, the original toy. You gotta
Slee
kind of
stack, right?
get past that. It always comes back to slee
It
stacks.
does.
They're one of the fundamental monsters.
They would just speak this.
Yeah, you put globe eyes on anything, everybody's gonna say it's slee stack. Slee stack. Slee stack. Look at that Sid the Sloth is creeping in. I'm getting happy with this now. Like I'm liking it. I wasn't liking it
It
before.
looks a lot different profile since you made it wider.
Oh yeah, really changed.
Yeah. Got away from the sock puppet look. We always talk about slee stacks.
It always comes back to sleep size. There are some creatures that hit notes that they go constant references. Jeepers Creepers, you know, that it's referenced a lot. Freddy Krueger actually has a really good, like, between Robert Englund's face and Freddy's sculpt, just a super iconic look, and you see it all over the place in other sculpture and things. I'm just kind of filling in my gaps now, and I'm putting in some...
I don't even know what Philip Earl said. I can't even decipher.
I love the sleeve back.
No,
No,
the concepi's
coming through the fog of the sharks.
woof, woof typing, woof typing. That sounds like a Scottish character of some kind. Go to the mountain and see woof typing.
That's nice.
That tool is being Amber's friend, yes. Cone squeeze.
Hand triggers or motion sensors?
Well, if you mean the lights in the eyes, I would do the actor triggers by hand. I'm looking at my reference a lot right now. How's it going, wife? How was picture time?
It's good. I mean, one more, and that's peace.
I think we all need a beast mode in our lives. You can have one for the low cost of whatever I'm selling for. I don't know how much it is right now.
Shan says, hello, Shan.
Actually said, hi, wife, is what he said.
Greetings, comrades.
Is that a cat?
Oh, she's like a cat.
You love the concept of the shark's eyes coming out of the ball. Yeah. That was something I want to see. I think as a director, one of your jobs is to create visuals for guests.
Or says, Alan has recommended David Mosher effects and Ed heads.
Yes. They're not for half masks though. For half masks, I'm just going to have to start selling mine. I will, guys. Hang on. Would you guys be okay with resin versions that are foam filled, like Ed heads used to be and Moshers are? If that's okay, I can do that. Shipping plaster is a bit of a nightmare. So, but mine aren't shallow. Okay, then I'll get to work on that.
People are saying yes. Dan McCornston says, hello everyone. Chad Smith said he would buy one right now.
Well, I'm not selling them right now, and that would just make more work for me. So hold on. Slow your roll, Chad. Slow your roll. I overbooked myself. No one else should.
Yeah, they changed the Ed head. It used to be like a really thick, dense foam, and now it's hard plastic.
Yeah. Which is a little harder to get clay to stick to it now, but it's nice. I mean, I like it.
That'd be old one.
Yeah.
Rob O'Brien says, what about a resin head that we then fill with plastic?
You could certainly do that. If you wanted to buy a shell or something, that's possible.
$19.80 says, I suggest a vacuum formed plastic mold of your armature, cheaper to ship.
Yeah, I think you said that the other night. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
I think as your lawyer, I advise you to buy a vacuum table immediately.
Yeah, you say that because you're the guy who gets to play the vacuum form table.
All day. Yep. Just trying to.
Alan, I didn't get to make anything, but look at my cool new armor. Thanks, Dan.
Oh, I've been making busts for customers and such. And I said, would you recommend starting with half masks?
Yes. Make a latex half, no matter what you want to make in the end, make a latex half mask first, and then make a latex full head, and then make a latex full head mask that you make resin teeth and horns for. And then, because then you make a silicone mold for those, then you have a little bit of knowledge of silicone, you can make a silicone half mask.
Wow.
Yeah. But if you, that progression teaches you all the steps.
Muscle it over.
Their boots.
Okay, I'm gonna go and look.
Thanks, wife.
So somebody said you could fill the ed heads with liquid. I would use sand because the one I tried to fill with liquid never stopped leaking.
It leaked, yeah.
The whole time. Fill it with sand, not water. Scott says, thanks Alan, Amber, and Stan. Good night, Creeper family.
Good night.
Good
night, Scott.
Put it in the same pose as the other one.
Says, you can make busts between the armor making. 2 for me, 1 bust for Alan, 3 more armor for me, 1 more bust for Alan.
Yeah.
I like the math. I like that math. Cash says, I got hired by a local theater company to do online summer school classes for makeup application. Top 3 classic character types you would suggest people learn to create.
A hobo or a tramp type makeup. Old age. And then I would probably do a cultural inspired makeup unless they shine away from that kind of thing. Yeah, old age, hobo, because that gives you dirt and transition and things.
The red Sculpting kind of hobo.
Kinda. I mean, you could go clowny with it.
Dan says, Alan, fishing was good. Had to come home and rest.
Oh, what'd you catch? Walleye? I got a lot of this reference for it being so freaking small. There it is. No. We don't like that.
Dude, that bottom, whatever, mouth, chin thing.
Like some of these are just handled poorly.
Dan says, yes, and some northern pike and some perch.
Oh, I love catching pike.
1980 says, Amber is focused like a laser. Laser.
Amber is really competitive, and
This is not true.
I don't think she wants to fall behind, like time-wise. I think she wants to stay on target and not be any less done than I am.
It only took me 3 weeks to sculpt my first sculpt in real time.
And I'm asking for this one in 3 hours.
Yeah.
Jesse says, have you shown your reference to everyone yet tonight?
Me or...
Both.
So I'm going over my references right now.
Edie wants to know if you got her card.
I did. I thanked you for it on air a little while ago. So this is my reference. That's about as big as I can get. It's a very small picture, but I like this head layout the best. Some of these I just don't like the way that they're handled. Their transitions I don't like. I'm gonna have to thicken up my neck, but I do like this, and I like where mine is going. The first one that I was using was this one for basic shape. But again, I don't like those side-facing eyes. Predators have forward-facing eyes. There's a sensor array in the head of a hammerhead, and the further apart the sensors, the more accurate their readings are, but and this is just kind of a cop-out where you put the fin shape on, but the whole face happens under here. I don't like that. And they kind of did that with this guy from Pirates of the Caribbean. And an actual hammerhead shark, which just looks derpy as heck. One, but it looks derpy as heck. But back to this reference. Get as big as I can. Okay.
Judy agrees it does look derpy.
Yeah, like they're just not scary. Amber, I'm doing all I can to not just put the camera down your shirt, just so be aware.
I just
Yeah.
didn't want to let you that out.
Or,
Why, but what kind of clay?
This is water-based clay, just, well, wet clay, water-based clay, yes. I'm ready for some popsicle stick fun. I fear structure, support,
Support. Yes.
needs support.
Rapid fire question for both Alan and Amber.
Shoot, Justin.
Zombies or werewolves?
Zombies.
Werewolves,
Country, hard rock, or rap?
Hard rock.
hard rock,
Best score, Halloween or Jaws?
Jaws. Halloween makes better techno though. But as far as the whole score, Jaws.
Chocolate milk or smoothies? What would yours?
Jaws. Smoothies.
I would probably say chocolate milk.
Critters or gremlins?
Gremlins, not even a contest.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. Up until their third or fifth sequel.
Chad wants to know, has anyone ordered a Dr. Evil shark with lasers attached to their freaking heads?
No one has, but I was going to make a shark with a laser pointer on its head.
We can borrow Amber's cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Mr. Bigglesworth cat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so blocking out the forms on this sculpture is taking forever. Like this is the longest I think I've gone where I'm really just like still raking and raking and raking. Maybe the bear. The bear was tough too because, you know, it's kind of an animal. It's kind of an animal.
Jesse's asking, what's the plan to fill the extra space in the hammerhead?
I'll probably foam it in. I think I'm doing some shaping now finally. So I worked for a long time to not get a favorite sculpting tool. And now that I have a favorite sculpting tool, I have to find my favorite sculpting tool before I feel like I'm having any success. Luckily, I bought 5 of them.
What is your favorite sculpting?
I'll show you. As long as I can find one at a time, I'm okay. This guy right here, it's a twisted wire, it's a twisted brass wire
Oh, wow.
loop tool. That's kind of a rake, it's kind of a loop. It's not so sharp that it mutilates things.
One of those black ones you got from
Yeah,
Brick in the Yard.
yeah, Vinny sells them. I have 5 now. And as long as I can find one at a time, I'm all right.
Dan says, I'll check you later. Got to go finish a haunted trail prop.
Yeah, awesome.
Chad Smith is excited to see rake marks on Amber's Sculpt.
Tools!
Tools. Jerry Collins says, you guys should have turned the eyes on Alan. I don't know what that means.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
Making it wider did make it look less like Cipiclaw.
Edie says, good night all. Very tired tonight. God bless. Good night, Edie.
Good night, Edie. Push it in there and it disappears. Like lipstick in Night of the Demons. I'm sorry that my dog ate your lipstick.
It's okay. I was actually having some remorse when you said that. It's one of my favorite colors. It'll be okay.
Sorry. Can't make it anymore.
It's all right. It's
Edition.
Obviously, Amber thought it was safely in her bag, which was hanging on the back of the door rather high. It must not have been.
Wanfrin says, so the form you are putting clay on, is that a bust of you?
This is me in here, yes. That is not Amber.
it looks like a dog.
What?
It looks good.
It looks like a dog. Let me see.
Cash says, I'm sorry my dog ate your lipstick is another calendar quote.
Yeah, that's a good one. When will his mouth happen? He has teeth.
It's true.
I want to be encouraged by his crevasses.
Chad says, Alan, just want to thank you. Things have been stressful lately with the state of things, and I really needed this break from everything. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it.
You know what? Thanks for hanging out with us. Life is stressful here too. I think we all kind of need a break. We've really developed quite a community through the live streams. I'm working on making things even. I'm working on making my anatomy make sense. And I'm about to give my shack some eyelids. Bella, no.
So, what bust should a beginner use for a first mask?
Get yourself a good half mask bust. I'd tell you that after we've kind of established there's not a real great one out there right now. Monster Makers has a decent one. It's a little shallow. The David Mosher one is good also. It's a little shallow. You can't put a full ear on it. So it's good for face. It's not great for a whole half mask, in my opinion. It's good, but there's room for improvement. I am frustrated with the molds I've made on it because they don't pour up as easy as other molds.
Philip Earl says, man, I still want to come hang out in Alan's treehouse, even if all I get to do is sweep the floor.
That is possible sometime. And Amber kind of said that same thing. She's like, I'll come and sweep.
Good at it. Yeah.
Like, I want to be near making stuff. Okay.
Paul Bennett says, the Hammerhead's probably going to use a lot of plaster for the mold.
You ain't lying.
That'll be a lot of plaster. Ezekiel says he's going to modify his David Mosher half mask.
Yeah, I mean, if you just bandsaw, like cut it on a bandsaw and cut all that flange off, it'll be better. And then you can build it up a little bit with plaster, get a little plaster bust to hang out on. Just kind of pop it. Like on this one.
You can also mold, this is what I did for mine, was molded my Ed head, the first half of it.
That's illegal.
Not to sell.
It actually doesn't matter. You do not have a license to mold it. When they sell you, they don't sell you that license.
So you can't do that even for your own house?
No, not
Really?
technically. No,
No kidding.
not the way that it's for you to sculpt and make molds of your sculptures. As soon as you mold it, you're stealing their work.
Even if you never sell it or nothing really?
You never intend to sell it, but then you have made a mold.
Right.
You have to then keep track of that for your entire life. And I guarantee you, 10 years from now, you won't know. You might be like, I don't know where that mold came from. I don't know.
I did not know that.
And
See, learn.
then you would be in trouble. And a lot of the guys who sell patterns, like EVA foam patterns and things on Etsy, they're selling you the license to make one with it, not to make it and sell it.
Right.
You have to be very clear about the licensing. That's why I do all my own patterning.
Interesting. Good to know. How much do you think the Hammerhead mask will weigh when it's done?
The mask will weigh
The question was the mask.
2-3 pounds, not much, maybe 4.
Jerry wants to know, how can you make a self-bust?
That is a process called life casting. And now you don't want to do it alone. You would have someone else do your life cast. Don't do your own life cast. It's kind of dangerous. It's possible, but I don't recommend it. Stan lost eyebrows.
I did.
Now, granted, he was 9, but he still lost some eyebrows.
Things happen.
So,
Learning.
yeah, you need to get someone to make a life cast of your head. It's very hard to do on your own.
Philip Earl says, will the Hammerhead be the normal configuration from back hemisphere, or would left and right work just because it's so wide?
I'll do front back. It'll actually be a nice, easy mold to clean too, because the mold line will be right here, the mold wall will be right here, and mold that half, flip it leg down, mold the other half. And the teeth are going to come out of it for molding, because I already have the resin mold for the teeth. You know, I might as well use them.
So Chad Smith says his best fitting masks are the half masks he molded off of the full Ed head, mostly because they turned out to be closer to a 3/4 mask.
Yeah, that happens. How's it going, Amber?
I'm working on that mouth.
No, you're not. Are you avoiding the mouse?
Yes. I'm better with ears.
There are some sculpts. No one says that, so
I'm better with the well.
more power to you.
From last time. Better with the ears this time. I'm not wanting to throw anything.
Oh, better with the ears
Yes.
this time.
This
I gotcha.
time, yes. But yeah, the mouth. Keep making it more Fido oriented.
How many different references are you using?
That's the problem. There's some fantastic references out there that are not the toy.
Right?
Don't look anything like the toy. So,
Yeah, go for those. The toy does not look good. All right, I'm ready for black sponge, I think.
Philip says, and we got ear experience now.
I do. It was rough. Very rough.
Good. Fringe reference. Puppy sleeping on the floor.
That's good. Look for a web store collector statue.
There's also this here.
That's okay, but look at that statue. I think
Right.
that's going to give you the best bet.
Okay.
Have a black sponge.
So Justin asks, when you're building the dividing wall, is there any technique to get it to stick better? Mine always falls off.
Q-tips, man. Yes, Q-tips. Look at my Mold-A-Bear workshop where I do the mold wall. I have bamboo Q-tips, and when I put the wall in, I pin it into the sculpture. You're left with little tiny holes in the sculpture that if you just leave them in there, in the mold, they'll turn into little spikes of plaster you just scrape off with your thumbnail. But yeah, I pin it on there. About a pin every 3-4 inches. Really helps.
So does it matter that you have that kind of a harder line that comes over the brow around his eye? It's not as smooth as the rest of them.
What's that now?
Right there. Was that a big deal with that, some harder, like less?
I guess,
Big deal for what?
like you're using the sponge, like you raked a lot of the other parts, but that wasn't. Does it make a difference?
I'll get there. No, this is just I'm smoothing it out a little bit. I'm taking the rake marks down so I can kind of see where my secondary forms and stuff will be, because that's where I'm headed next. It's 10:10. We'll probably cut off here in 20-25 minutes. Did you find the collector's bust?
No, there's lots of trap jaw. And
Chad Smith asks, what will you do for breathing and ear holes on the hammerhead?
Well, breathing, I can cut out all behind the teeth. You'll have a lot of breathing room. And the ear holes I can put in behind. The jaw sticks out so far. I can put ear holes up and behind here. Would you swing the camera around over this way? No, like pick up the whole tripod and put it up right here.
Maybe.
Thank you, Stan.
Philip Earl says needs gills.
Yep, gills are coming next. Gills are probably the next big feature that I put on. still hunting reference.
Chad likes the brow, says it's very mean.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to make this Derpinator into something scary. No, its name will not be the Derpinator.
Cash says, at school in the morning, good night, spooky people.
Good night.
Night, Cash. His name will be Fid.
Finn?
Fid.
I think there'll be at least one bloody hammerhead.
$1980 says a little bit like Alpha 5 from the newest Power Ranger movie.
I am unfamiliar with that. Did Alpha 5 kind of have a hammerhead? The answer is yes, and I'm not upset. Stan, would you move my reference and try to find on there the web store collector figure, which I'm pretty sure I saw. Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, that's a better reference. So clean. It's a cleaner reference.
Yes.
She's fine. She'll need it.
This one?
Yeah.
Chad's going to have slippers made from the heads of defenseless baby seals.
Yeah. I think somewhere out there is a super predator that looks just like a baby seal. You know, but like that's only the part of it that sticks up out of the ice. And then, like polar bears get close, the rest of it comes out and it's Amber, we're making monsters.
We are.
That's kind of cool.
Amazing.
I really thought you were going to be sculpting a gibbering mouther this evening.
When I sculpt, I dance. I listen to music. I dance, and I do focus. I hyper focus.
I thought you would be sculpting a gibbering mouther. That's what I thought.
Oh, you're saying that? I thought I was going to be the figure out.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no. I had expectation that they would pick that.
I did too.
You're like, I was completely unprepared for web store.
I was completely unprepared for sculpting.
Yeah, I didn't tell you you were sculpting. But I didn't know you were staying. So now that I know you're staying, you're staying.
Ezekiel said you were overruled.
Hey, that's why I give you guys the power. Keep it interesting.
Mike says there is a turtle that wiggles its tongue like a fish lure.
Alligator snapping turtle.
Yeah.
Used to have one for a pet. His name was tortilla, scourge of all the aquariums east of the Mississippi.
We used to go to the lake as kids, and that's what our parents would tell us to get us out of the water, is the snapping turtles were going to get us.
Alligator.
Like, they'll bite your toes off, get out of the water, we gotta go.
How come they would have bit my toes off an hour ago? Like, you know their schedule?
They only come towards shore when it's time for us to go home, I guess. It's the analytical prowess as a child I was lacking.
Yeah. Yeah. Or how much fun that ruined for you.
I know. Snapping turtle creature could be a cool mask also.
Turtles aren't scary. Like, I might do a Tokar or Razar at some point in time, a Razor at some point in time, but they're real hard to make scary. I say, as you know, aside from like a dolphin sunfish, hammerheads are kind of some of the derpiest looking fish in the water. And if you've never seen a dolphin sunfish, it's like a potato with wings on it. They're
Potato with
such
wings.
stupid animals. Hey, that's awesome. I got family watching, Shannon says. Here are your gills. I hope you're happy.
Here you go.
Who did that?
Masato.
Oh, really?
Masato drew that.
Oh, that's fun.
That's very cool.
Sometimes you gotta rip your eyes off and start over, guys. Amber, how you feeling?
I'm not upset with it.
Good.
Just don't move as fast as you. I've done two. What?
Rue felt like he was sculpting a potato all the way up until like the last couple hours of the last night.
People told him he was sculpting a potato.
It looked amazing. It really.
Not in the beginning. It looked like a potato.
I did not want
Justin says, I'm a fan of pumpkin teeth. Is there any other products out there similar but with different styles?
No. There isn't. I look.
Rob O'Brien says, tentacles.
What about tentacles? Was I doing something penisy? Okay, I have an infamous tentacle making video on my YouTube channel where, so I'm at the end of the table and I'm operating this tentacle. It's cable controlled, but the shot is me standing there. There's this tentacle just whipping around, and it looks rather adult. So
Working the controls.
So if something goes a little more penisy than it ought to, sometimes I get a tentacle reminder. Really, this is like the worst place for him to have gills.
Mike said you were making ropes of clay in your area earlier and the camera angle looked bad.
Oh, yeah, okay, I can see that. Thanks.
Michelle said that video made her laugh for some time.
Every now and then it makes me laugh still. Because people still comment on that one. The edge of the gill kind of has to be sharp, I think, or else it doesn't read right to me. But yeah, this is a terrible spot for him to have his gills because, you know, it's right on his neck. I guess that's as bad as a human's throat and stuff being right there.
They're going to post a link to your video on the Facebook page.
See me making clay ropes out in space and being very cautious? What's that?
I really want to make a dog.
There isn't a dog He-Man character, so you have to go to Thundercats and go to Jackalman. It's the closest. Yes, very big congrats to SpaceX and NASA. They did a good job.
Chad says probably the easiest He-Man to sculpt would be Orko.
That's a hood. Yes. Yes, it would be.
And a scarf. "1980 said, wow, I just realized there were no dogs in He-Man. Never a dog. They had green tigers.
They did. Talking green tigers.
Purple panthers who for some reason couldn't talk.
Right, but the green ones can.
Right.
It's the stripes, see? Stripes make them talk.
That's right.
No one acted like Cringer was weird for talking either, but nothing else talked.
Jeffrey Fracastoro says, Kaiju! Ezekiel says, gotta say we have so many talented people in the Creepers page. What a bunch of talents.
There are a bunch on there. Yes, you're right. I love seeing everybody's work.
Even She-Ra had a big-eared koala. I didn't want She-Ra.
Did have a big-eared koala. That's right. Suppose those little-eared koalas. Hear so much about.
Those were your.
Right. Okay, so we have a semblance of gills.
Mike Danny says, then you had to look for the little hats, which was a little character hidden in every episode of She-Ra.
Is that right?
I never watched She-Ra, I'm a guy.
Oh.
And he's angry about it.
I think maybe it came on the same time as G.I. Joe and somebody had to win.
Figured.
If you didn't watch G.I. Joe, you wouldn't know what half of the battle means.
Stacy said it's not too late, I can still watch it.
There's a new version. You could get down with the new She-Ra stand.
No, I'm pretty good where I'm at.
Could have phrased that better.
Get down with the new She-Ra. Connie said, I made burning embers out of foam, sticks, lights, and paint this morning.
Cool. That is a fun way to do it. And it always looks good. It looks like a pile of white turds until you turn the lights off, and then it's magical.
Graffy says, hi Alan, has the murder hornet been painted yet?
No, I have not painted a murder hornet because I had to make YouTube Wednesday and stuff.
Stuff. And Connie said, then she made a creepy child-sized doll that stands in the corner.
Nice.
Creepy.
So I'm going way off book as far as references go, but I wanted some forms in this neck to make this more exciting, so I could feel like I was a better sculptor than I am. Sometimes I put rake marks on things because it makes me feel like I'm a better sculptor than I am. Because when I see good sculptures, they have rake marks all over them. So I want to put those on mine. Like they alone are a feature.
Tools are good. Great parts.
Signs of progress. Stan, are you honey?
Nope.
Fall asleep and put your bra in the freezer.
What?
I heard that's a thing. I don't know.
Lockhart says, then we poured up 3 more masks.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Kenny. Newman Brown says, Alan, most sharks have scars. They live a rough life. Are you going to add battle wounds?
I may. That's going to be so late in the stages, though. Right now, I'm not liking the silhouette as much as I want to, so I'm paring down the thickness here. I want it to be a little less girthy.
Rachel is asking, where will the air holes go in this guy?
All behind these teeth, I'll cut out. His mouth is actually right here, so holes on this flat would do well. Stan, would you move the camera around so it looks on Amber Sculpt for a while?
Sure. Ezekiel says, how old were you when you got into He-Man? He was a little late for mine. I'm not quite up to scratch with all the references or characters.
I was young. I mean, I was a kid, so maybe, well, He-Man came out, I think, in 82 or 83.
Yeah.
And I would have been 7.
Connie says, Amber, your sculpt is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm just removing clay. I sculpted something, and now I'm whittling it down in order to get it closer to the silhouette that I want.
Philip says, Amber, wow, looking excellent. You have talent.
She got mad skills, yo.
Yo.
Go.
Graphy says, Amber, that looks great. For your second sculpt.
Less dog-like.
No water? You need anything?
I would muddle my water. If we don't like it. Thank you so
I
much.
have warm water in there. I have warm water in there too. I have downright hot water if you hate yourself. What have I done with the back of the head? See how much I've thinned
Looks great.
the rays up front?
It's great.
It's getting there.
It really is two-toned.
What?
It's two-toned right here. That's fantastic.
Well, yeah, it's I had to use different kind of
But
clay.
it works
Yeah.
as far as coverage. I think it's too much off.
Can I see? You are really doing a good job of bringing it all into focus at the same time.
Good. Thanks.
Yeah. Can I see it? Spin it around. Yeah. I'd say that really works.
Yeah.
What was the time on that?
Hour 25 minutes. That's what I can't figure out where it came from. I don't see it on the screen.
Gotcha.
So I gotta work on it. I have to figure that out. It's okay to send the,
Yeah,
yeah.
proof it up.
Philip says the thinning of the neck really helped.
Did you thin your neck?
I did. Oh, you did.
I didn't thin your neck.
And your
No, I thinned my rays.
other good things.
Hello, Cheney. Alexa, countdown, 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Starting now.
We're gonna wrap up, Amber.
All right.
Serious, I'm breaking out the big rake. It's a monster.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Move some clay.
Jesse says the mask looks great, but I don't think it'll fit on Alan's head, Amber.
That's true, it won't.
Not everyone has Alan's head.
Yeah, something wrong. Yeah, this sucker's hogging it away. Oh my gosh. Hogging. What's that?
Oh, I'm just using this as a reference picture. It's not the same proportion.
My phone doesn't like sending messages over your Wi-Fi to Android phones. Justin says, looks great, Alan and Amber. I'm off to Nightmare Land. Have a nice night, everyone.
Good night.
sir.
Night.
That's better. Because the head should be happening, and then the eyes. Why don't I have that? I have head and eyes, and I want that. The head is its own unit. Stan, would you switch the camera back around again?
Yep.
I have hogged off a lot of clay, and I'm really changing the shape in here. It's not a gradual push in anymore. This, and then it kind of juts out, almost 90 degrees. When I say almost 90 degrees, I mean actually 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
That's how close to almost 90 degrees it ought to be. Silhouette is everything. So if I can save the silhouette, I save the sculpture.
What's the span of the top of that one?
If I had to guess, 17 inches.
The hammerhead is probably about as heavy as the demon from Legend.
No,
And the Lord of Darkness.
Ooh, I was wrong. 22 inches. 22 inches from hammerhead end to end. Yeah.
Brian
Exactly.
says, I love the teeth on him.
Thanks. I made them for Mersapian. Recycling.
Mercy.
That'll also make it more comfortable to wear.
You know, more snug. Less foam.
Now I don't really want to take material away, but I do want to, well, I want to take some material away. I like it. I tend to put things on chunky, and then I work on reducing. My refinement all comes through reducing. I like that we need some little sensor anatomy right there or something.
Jesse says, amazing looking, can't wait to see the refinement of texture on it.
Yeah, me either. He's certainly getting there sculpturally.
Six String Slayer says, if I 3D print resin teeth and embed them in my monster clay mask, will I still be able to make a hydrocal mold? Will the resin teeth cause mold problems?
Yes, take them out. Like I'm not going to mold with these teeth in, because they're not perfectly tapered, so I don't trust them to come out of the mold easy. Now I just want everything on the sides of the head here that I've been shaping to look a little more on purpose. Nothing on your sculpture should look like it's an accident. Don't leave a tool mark in there, clean that stuff up. And if I don't do this now, I might not get back to it, so now is the time for me. 10:45, Amber.
Okay.
You zeroing in?
Yes.
I'm finally getting like a sense of what this will look like in the end. Now I'm smoothing. I'm going to start doing some textures. I'll have to add a little bit to the lips. I'm going to have some broken lips in here. I'm amazed no one said there should be a shrimp hanging out of his mouth. We've gotten so far into the evening. I thought for sure that was going to happen.
Herman said hitting the hammerhead down made a huge difference. Makes it look a lot more menacing.
Yeah.
Streamlined.
Yeah, you got to figure out what does that. What's the hit? What is the form language of this creature? Yeah, this feels much more hammerhead-like, in all honesty. Yeah, this feels good. Corners of the mouth are a little weird. I got to figure those out. I got to do eyelids and such, which will really just kind of be rings around the eyes.
Jay Lee said, you know what would be really awesome? Shrimp hanging out of their mouth.
You're fired. like, so I got this far and I haven't put a single wrinkle in yet because that's just not where I was on the sculpture. Now I'm getting to where I can put in a wrinkle or two and start defining the shape. Well, that helped. Sometimes you just gotta do stuff and see what happens.
Bro says you should have a severed finger with a wedding band.
Why with the wedding band? What kind of statement are you trying to make? I don't know what's going on in your life. If you need help, reach out. You're ordering an angel shot. I don't know.
Newman says an Aquaman boot hanging out of his mouth.
I'm going to give him such a fabulous accessory. Then I'm just going to go full glitter shark.
Glitter shark.
Yeah. There's a group of women that we call glitter sharks who came into the nightclub, Jamie Lane Sunset Strip, that I worked at in Orlando. They're glitter sharks.
Philip says he's been through 2 so far, so he's kind of good at it.
Glitter sharks?
No, the whole,
Oh.
I guess, wives and such.
Boy, look at this pile of clay that I've shaped off my sculpture. Just,
Those 2 lines you just made over the top of his eyes,
yeah.
totally awesome. Like, I mean, like chains like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're at
Left eye,
that point where there's going to be little details that just do a lot.
Glitter shark.
He's a personal injury lawyer.
Scott's out. Good night, Scott.
Good night, Scott.
Good night.
I am going a little later than normal.
1980 says do a gore version with a harpoon impaled and sticking out on the side.
Y'all love, at least you said version, like you understand that I'm not going to sculpt and mold that in. And sometimes people expect that. But I also think that me doing the channel is opening up people's minds to how different you can make a mask, you know? You have a lot of options.
Ezekiel says cobwebs will no doubt want one on a stick.
Yeah. Or a plaque. No pipe! No pipe! That was awkward if no one understands what I'm talking about. But if you were here,
On a steak.
then you were here. I now need to eat my clip bar.
Philip says now I have to choose between a shark or a Krampus.
You'll get more use out of a Krampus. There's not a lot of shark walks around Dallas.
Shark Krampus.
There's a comic book character named King Shark. It's like
Yep.
a big muscly shark guy.
Mm-hmm.
Zombie catfish.
Alexa, stop.
Ooh, zombie catfish, nice. Yeah.
You're
Michelle
lucky
said,
I want to smooth out these lines.
Michelle said that was awesome that you put the PVC pipe in the package.
Can you just give it to what it is?
Which one? Sure. Everything's a tool if you're brave enough. That's how it works.
That's why you said we don't have any pencils. We're not afraid of commitment here.
That's right. Nope. They were asking for a pencil the other day, and I'm like, I don't have pencils. I'm not afraid of commitment.
Sharpies.
Commit. Believe in what you're writing down.
Everyone says it's awesome with the gray clay. Being a shark, you can kind of get a picture of how it's going to look.
Yes, and no one has said it looks like a gargoyle, so that's good.
And Brandon said he just ordered a Heptaron blank.
Oh, awesome! Those are fun, man. That's a fun mask. One of my favorite masks I've ever sculpted.
Heptaron.
But for some reason now, every time I say its name, I say it in the singing. I'm a big syllable guy, or I have an issue. You can say it that way too. It's Heptaron, star of the American Road. Yeah, but yeah, I don't say all that. But it definitely happens inside of my head. Okay, so I put on these little nodes, and I kind of want them to be like sensors. I'm afraid they look a little bit like nipples, and I'm going to have to do some adjusting. Are those nipple? Is that nipple-esque?
No,
Good.
I thought nose when you put them on.
Okay.
Extra sensory. I did not immediately go for nipple.
That eraser-sized lump of clay. You got to be careful.
Brandon says, I love when Alan breaks into song. Always cheers me up.
Yeah, I've been pretty focused. This is a hard sculpture. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this is tough. So, Amber,
Yes.
I'm gonna say something to you. That might have made this easier, and maybe I should have said it earlier in the night. Sculpt an orc, and then make him spidery.
Okay. Should I?
You know what I mean? Like, if you sculpt an orc, you know, you're part of the way there.
Okay. The next
3
time.
hours in.
Yes.
I wasn't thinking about your sculpt. I was thinking about I was worried about how the heck I was going to make a hammerhead.
We're really hoping for that farmer. Cactus Jack says, I just came in. Your hammerhead mask is so sick.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Horace says you can always count on him for at least one C bit.
Yeah.
Brandon says the hammerhead is truly one of your most badass sculpts.
Really? Okay. I was worried it's going to be Derp City.
Derp.
Derp for the ocean. Derp. Another good reference might have been an Ettercap.
Don't know that one.
It's a spider monster. Like when I was younger, I thought that the He-Man makers like used all these different references, and there was obscure like nods to others. No,
No.
they just winged it.
Here's the same body with a different rubber
Yeah,
head.
they
on top.
didn't, they didn't research anything. They didn't care.
Get this guy a beard.
They're like, it's my job to make these toys, so let's make some good toys. And I respect that too.
Dollar bills, yo.
They did make some good toys.
Or says he's not derpish at all. 1980 says you do realize now we want a Sid. Brandon said he's far from derp. He's freaking awesome. Philip Earl said it could easily be in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I think anything with a weird shaped head. Give him some brown pajamas and a weird shaped head. Put him in the background. He'll be fine. So, are you guys familiar with that? Like, it was a grocery store commercial, but for some reason it featured a dancing Skeletor and He-Man who danced down the street.
No.
No? Okay. I just found out my friend did the makeup effects for that
Great.
and applied all the makeup and stuff.
So it's a recent.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's ridiculous silly.
I remember Mortal Kombat, the traveling show
Really?
that didn't last very long.
I can
Was it
imagine.
on ice?
No, because it was a whole lot of really muscular people who could barely walk in really tight clothes.
Yeah, trying to get them to also act is very difficult.
There's very few. They're out there on YouTube, like interviews, where like the local morning crew would
Oh,
interview,
sure.
for the show, and just getting some of them to try to do coherent sentences at all to
Awesome.
explain what they were there for is worth digging up the video.
See, this is why I like to use new clay. I just dug this out of the side of my sculpture. Some kind of
It's a dried something.
green something. I don't even know what this is. It's got green paint on it. I don't
1980
know.
said they did one like Dirty Dancing with Skeletor and He-Man for the same chain.
Yes. Yeah, and it's based in the UK.
Philip Earl said he'd be from the same planet with General Akbar. Just in case we weren't sure or nerdy enough, it's the fish guy who said, "It's a trap. It's a trap."
Yeah.
Alan, do you remember the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles music concerts?
No. No. Hallelujah, I don't. Alexa, is King Kong still playing in Broadway? Well, no one's playing in Broadway right now. Broadway's closed.
Sorry, I couldn't find any theater named Broadway, most likely near Mesquite.
Well, thanks for trying.
Useless.
Alexa's kind of like a librarian who comes back to work like the day after a terrible combine accident where she's like missing hands, one leg, but she wants to help you. She really wants to help you. She wants to be there. But no, just stay home and get better. But Alexa will never get better. Probably shouldn't have said that out loud. That wasn't a thought for other people. That was just for me.
Rob O'Brien said King Kong closed last year.
Oh yeah.
It says it's got a 50s Buick front end on it.
It does. It does. Yeah. They were very fishy. We're getting there, guys. All right, so I feel good about the direction that he's headed. I will, you know what? I'm going to put a couple wrinkles in there. Just some lip action.
Brandon says he'll post a cover of the cassette tape in the group from their tour. They were sponsored by Pizza Hut.
Of course they were.
Only 80s kids remember ads for fans to call a number to have your favorite character tell you a joke or wish you happy birthday.
I had Freddy Krueger call and wish me a happy birthday. Which I'll admit is pretty creepy.
The 1-900 days.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mean those kind of
Those kind of days.
That's why all the payphones got taken out of schools.
It's a lot of quarters, man. $1.99 for the first one.
I
No,
mean, we were in
$2.99.
the arcades with the quarters. So
$3.99 for the
I was in the arcades with the quarters.
Some people were at the telephones.
Doing all the things.
Doing all the
Philip wants to know if there's a live show tomorrow.
Yeah, this is because this is all I do.
Jesse said, just watch the He-Man commercial. Very Blue Oyster vibes.
Yeah. Oh,
Blue-
yeah.
Not
Oh,
Blue Oyster Cult.
It's so
The
interesting.
Blue Oyster Bar.
Yeah. It's a treat. But they look great, man. That's how they should have looked in the movie.
Miss Cleo were the worst commercials back then. Was that the psychic hotline?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
They weren't so smart to see they were going under.
Maybe they were. They were just riding it out till the end.
Only 80s kids know what Star 67 and Star 69 did.
Yeah.
Rachel said, and we had a number we called every Saturday morning for a story to be told to us. I don't remember that one.
There's a list of children that every time I dress up as Krampus, I have to make videos for them. Because they're bad. My mother wants me to threaten them.
Anyone remember the phone number to get the time?
Isn't it 4114?
Yeah, I think that was it, yeah.
4114, yeah. Do you remember the old saying, you had to get the 411? You had to get, call information, get the info? That's how old I am.
Okay, so now my shark has a bottom lip. Which I don't think sharks really have lips, but it was important to me. Because now I'm going to crack his lip.
Look, like all the pictures look like it's like just like a flap that closes. The shark mouth.
Yeah, but flaps that close aren't exciting, Stan.
Just saying. Not saying anything. Just saying. Ah, movie phone. Thank you for calling movie phone. Tell my Sharky.
There was a kids karate studio that had famous commercials like where I was raised, and the whole Baltimore area. What was it? I think it was Kim's Karate, and there was all these kids with no teeth who were yelling, "Nobody bothers me! Nobody bothers me either!" And that it was creepy. Yeah, I wouldn't mess with those kids. What happened to their teeth?
TZ Kelly says, I remember calling a number to get the time.
Yeah.
I had this girl that I dated, that's how we used to talk past 10 o'clock at night. She would call time and temperature, and I would call her, and then so her phone wouldn't ring at her house, she could click over on the call waiting, and we could talk to each other.
Sneaky.
Back when caller ID cost extra money. Call waiting costs extra money.
Phone calls costed extra.
Phone calls costed extra money.
Yeah, the more calls you made, the more you had to spend.
Laura Beauty says, I like the gills. I know you didn't. I know you don't, but they really do add to him.
They do. I just from a fighter perspective, they're not in a good spot. I wouldn't want to fight with all of my internal organs right there. But this guy has way more neck than I do, so maybe he's going to be better at it. What? I did a faux chin up here.
Oh, well, that's nice.
The real actor's chin is here.
Michelle said her parents let her have a teen line all of her own. It was even in the phone book.
Wow.
Phone book.
Yeah, no one would do that for their kids today, for teens. Too worried about predators. All right, so Sharpie's done for the night. I think I could pick at it forever, of course, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the hammerhead. Pretty happy with the hammerhead. Mersapian's teeth fit in there pretty good. This is 2 whole sets of some Mersapian's teeth. And what I will do, because I heated them up and I put them in there. So what I'll do is I will take them out and I'll put them back together on the ground and I'll mold them. So then I'll have hammerhead teeth and Mersapian teeth. Amber?
Yes.
You're bad at stopping your sculpture.
Yes. Is that okay?
She says as she adjusts her sculpture. Would you take this around and show folks what Amber is? have fun?
Oh, this is amazing.
And I already see like 84 things in it.
Well, when you get up and get 10 feet away from it, it changes everything. Like, that can't be on a little person. Like, that's going to have to be a hefty dude wearing that. Like, I just see, like, Josh Cardona wearing that. And then, like, his head's laying on the ground while he's trying to run down the hallway.
The gills are over the shoulders.
The squint factor on this, because it's not, like, sharpened in yet, reads web store. It reads pretty good.
Yep.
Got to figure out what's happening in here,
Yes.
like this plane. But yeah, oh, you know what? This is how rotating stands work. We could do that. Look at that. There.
Good deal.
That's right, 1980. From 1 foot you see a wall, from 100 feet you see architecture. It's a forest for the trees kind of thing.
Cool.
It's awesome.
This is a big boy. This is gonna suck to mold. I will not, what did I just mold? Mersapien. I molded him live, took me 3 hours.
That's gonna take a minute.
This will be a 4 or 5 hour mold.
2, 3. How many molds do you? I mean, you
Just
use
half. I'll run the
Two
line
part.
right here.
Uh-huh.
The mold wall's gonna go here.
Uh-huh.
I'll do the back, and I'll do the front. It won't be hard to clean or anything like that. Oh.
Cool.
You know what? And because of web stores like head spikes,
Mm-hmm.
he could even be aquatic with the right paint job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you gonna come back and finish it?
Can I?
Tomorrow, what's tomorrow?
Thursday.
Friday, no. You could come back tomorrow afternoon at like 3 o'clock again, probably. So I've got to run down the fair site and drop off stuff for the monster review. I'll be live tomorrow anyway. So yeah, but you got to finish in tomorrow.
Okay.
Tighten up. All right, so everybody, Stan, say goodnight.
Good night.
Stan, thanks for your comments.
Absolutely.
Amber, thanks.
Thank you,
Weird.
everybody, for everybody's help.
Yeah, thanks for letting me put you on the spot,
Yeah.
sculpting, and thanks for hanging out. Say goodnight
Good
night.
night.
and go make stuff.